destroy it. No, contact!
Hold the line!
5, 2, 3, 9. Yep, direct taking fire.
Hey guys, thanks for sitting with us. We're now live after a long time, I believe. Must be at least a month or two. And we're here to celebrate 5 years of DK. So before doing anything else, let me show you who I have here with me. First of all, Mr. Avitus, the non-essential guy.
All non-essential personnel, please leave the region.
Then we got my co-leader here, Mr. Evie.
Hello.
And then your favorite sea commander and daddy.
Good grief, I knew you were going to make that joke. Okay, guys.
And a very special guest we didn't tell you about on purpose. Representing Team Devman, Julian.
Hello, everybody.
So yeah, that was a huge surprise for us as well, because we just like randomly out of the blue messaged him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll jump in."
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
And we're so happy to have you, Julian. So I'll just go to the chase. What we did, guys, we thought it would be fun to have like a retrospective of, well, especially of art and other memes as well, but mainly art because Julian decided to join, and we were like, you know, we need to look at some art with Julian if he's coming. That's his specialty. So without further ado, I'll present you guys some of the gems we found way back when, and Julian here is gonna help us go through them with his commentary. Okay, let's go on the other side. We put it first because we didn't know how much time committed Julian has, so we wanna get these first. So these are probably the first one Klaus could find in FOD, I believe. These are like the first ones almost ever. Well, there were some nasty ones around there. I'm not gonna go around the finger. You know, initial DK wasn't as family friendly as we are today. I'm not gonna lie.
Those were dark times.
These are the earliest ones that we deemed could still represent us today.
Oh man, they're great. I love the style on the colonial. Okay, I know you colonial bad, but I love the style on the colonial one. That kind of like comic book thing going on.
Yeah, it's really nice, especially thinking of the year and whatnot. Also, I'm just gonna like just collectively say thank you guys for all the follows and the likes, and we're not gonna stop for that. But I just wanted to put it out there. You guys have been doing a ruckus and really appreciate it. Let me keep the ball rolling over here. This one's a pretty interesting one. I think we also have pictures later on, Julian. So I don't know how much you are aware of these little boxes we've been doing in the past. I think you know of them, right? Where we had those little bases constructed.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a scheme of where stuff was. I remember even now the old barracks, the tent you guys made. You remember you could put boxes inside?
Yep.
we would stash boxes in there and just fill them up with all sorts of you know, like you can see here the
actual well organized like collections of stuff. Yeah.
Well, for most of our life, our logistics has been run by Germans, just so you get an idea. So
Always efficient. Very efficient.
Woe betide the rip that actually put something in the wrong place here. It just would have been
Oof.
a mess.
Oof, like you would have to fill.
Safe to say that rip never made it out of training.
You'd have to fill in all those paperwork, like. Okay, moving on. We'll see later a picture of how it actually looks. This, I believe, is probably one of the first iterations of the logo. I think DRB put together. Well, we all know the Krieg one was was taken from probably Workshop, and it became a priority for us to change it because we all know how Games Workshop operates on these things.
Well, yeah. case. Like at the time, I was like, Games Workshop aren't going to be bothered. We can still call ourselves the Death Corps and stuff like that. But like nobody could have foresaw what they've become like over the last few months. So I'm glad we did it in hindsight now.
Did you ever legitimately get messaged by them or something?
No, but there was concern about it when I
Yeah.
first joined the clan like 5 years ago. So it
Yeah.
was a legitimate thing. That's why we called ourselves Dreadcore and
Yep.
all of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Don't completely get out of that. I'm glad that we did that.
It sounds cool too. But yeah, no, I'm up to date on all of the Games Workshop's latest IP related stuff.
Yeah, their escapades.
Their IP stuff comes in waves, so
Yep.
probably about 5 years ago we would have started seeing the rumbles of it, which is probably why they started getting nervous about the name.
And I think we did believe that it's better to just guard ourselves, just because you don't want to handle stuff like that when you can just simply change something here and there.
That
Yeah.
and like coming up with your own, like kind of making it more your own is always
Abs-
cool too. So
I mean, something that I've really enjoyed is taking the Krieg theme from 40k and applying it to the Foxhole universe.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it fits really, really well. And we sort of like the faction sort of adopted the whole aesthetic of the gas mask and things like that. And it's been great.
Like 100% understandable. Like it's like I clearly get it.
Yeah. Glad somebody does.
I am the office's resident Warhammer nerd. Me and Leon, we can talk about it, but then everyone else it just gets bored by what we're talking about when we talk about it.
We haven't picked up on that at all over the years.
No, like this is some insight that I'm not gonna lie. we had no idea.
I'm gonna get the new Kill Team box coming out this weekend. I'm getting a copy. I know that.
It's always funny to me because I remember when I first initially joined, I barely knew what 40k was, right? And it's like there's a lot of people in the clan that are like that, and it's fun to discover something you never knew you liked, basically.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Someone just asked what armies, and I'm not going to start a whole giant Warhammer rant here, but Space Marine, Imperial Guard, Tyranids, and those are my three main. So,
well, you're mostly good there. You got one Xenos in there, but that's fine. We can let you slip with the Tyranids because they are cool. But
they're a cosmic neutral. They just eat everything. They're not.
So here's an important question, though. Question. What Space Marine chapter?
I've always been a fan of the Salamanders. I just like their kind of in like the Horus Heresy and stuff. I just like how they're described as like stalwart and they actually give a shit. So that's where I landed with them. And I know they were super powerful for a while, like recently or a couple of years ago, but it wasn't because of that. I've just always liked them.
All right, cool. I respect somebody that picks a chapter because of their lore instead of
I'm a definitely not competitive player.
I too am casual.
Thank you for the follow, you non-essential
Oh.
scum.
It's
Yeah,
a
the
good
weak
start. It's a
warden
solid
soldiers.
start.
Some of the earliest Arcan art we could find posted in Foxhole Creative.
No, it's great.
Okay, this is where it starts to get 40k-ish.
Razor, we may be having an audio issue.
Oh, my mic broke. Okay, I'll just restart my mic quickly.
No, we could hear it before you said you restarted it.
Yeah, they're saying that we can hear them in here, but they can't on the streams.
Yeah, it
No,
should be
I
fixed now.
put in the
I
stream,
think
I heard it.
there again. It generally like whoever checked awkward silence also check technical difficulties, please.
Follow, you non-essential scum.
On the bingo card, I mean.
I mean, I'm looking at these pictures, and I mean they're clearly just like obviously like photoshopped, and things like that. But I think they're pretty respectable for an up and coming clan. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
It's
Like,
more. It's all about mood, like setting
In-
the theme. and
indeed.
stuff, yeah.
I want you for the corpse of Krieg. Indeed.
I like starting off of the with the original stuff because it's gonna give a lot of contrast to when we get to closer to current date. I feel like
You also
So-
get to see the rare existence of Watchmaster Assistant as a rank, apparently.
as a rank, yeah, that was fun. So
Yes, right.
Assistant to the regional watchmaster.
this one was pretty interesting. Drac or Evie, do you guys remember who did this one? Because like it really looks like an attack.
Fuck, I can't remember who did it, but I know it was someone from us. Too
Well,
long
that's
ago.
pretty much in the game now, isn't it? But it's,
Yeah.
But it's
Close too, yeah.
yeah, it's colonial though.
Mhm.
I mean, don't get Shiv all depressed again because he loves those things. No, but like honestly, Julian, we were very salty. I'm even salty because you can ask the guys. I always said, we need a puma, and I'm always like, Julian's gonna make us a puma. You'll just wait. And when you give the attack to like the colonials, everybody was like, God fucking, that should be not us getting it, not them.
I apologize then, but it is what it is. And no, I do, actually I remember this mod from like when it first went around. I remember this set of renders are nice.
We found it really cool because we instantly thought, this looks exactly. It looks extremely similar to attack. So.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever vehicle gets put into the game, we always have people that can acquire them. You know what I mean? Throughout the war. So, I mean, on the rare occasion where we've had a group of these things attacking, I mean, I'm sure there's videos and stuff like of us attacking like tank formations and stuff with a pack of these things, and they're absolutely devastating. If you flank them and stuff like that, they're really good vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
Shiv.
Oh god. I was gonna say I remember it took a while before people got used to them, and everyone thought that they were weak, like right off the bat. And I think it was like 1 Shard 2 where they were teched, and it kind of like proved that they were they were like really nice vehicles.
Yeah, I think I mean
Shiv, yeah.
something that I've always maintained when the vehicles separated and everything changed, the isometric thing or whatever it was. The tactics of the colonials at the time, the way that you wanted them to use their tanks, they weren't using their tanks that way, and it was so frustrating to us because if I remember saying at the time, if we had light tanks with a speed boost, can you imagine how many flank maneuvers that we would be doing in these things, annihilating tank formations of slow warden tanks like ours? You know what I mean? And I always like, they've started to really pick up on it now, and they've started to employ like real tactics against us. But for a long time, colonials were. I mean, that was a common occurrence, which is on the screen right now. Things like that.
People were asking for it, so I was like, yeah. So basically, she was very close to killing this battle tank with 3 of them, which is pretty funny considering the difference in everything.
Yep.
I remember that video.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Right. Okay. Here is a more unique old. I kind of really dig the old aesthetic on the right there.
Hey man, that was my brain. I just clicked in. I was like, hey, I painted that tank.
Oh yes. I think the actual gas mask is from the the character creation thing as well.
Yeah.
That okay? I know there's currently no warden ones in that, but that we will flesh that out.
Please
eventually.
do, please
that
do.
2
Because
years ago?
like people don't appreciate that there is a quite a large group of people that would like to add like certain details about their character if once someone wants to click on their profile and stuff like that, what town are they from and all that type of jazz, you know what I mean? Like we had I don't know if you've seen them, but we had like passports that we made in our Discord, and so I can't remember who made them, but they were absolutely excellent. And it was like for certain things, it's like so you got like stamps and stuff like that if you took part in a certain attack or operation or something like that, and something like that would be excellent for player profile.
The ones that are in the game now, they were from when we first I think it was Rohan wrote the code for the player profile stuff, and he literally just needed content to fill it. And Mark was like, do up some profile things so that we have the like JPEGs in the engine to test what Rohan had written. So I did those up, and then it's one of those things that's kind of low priority that we always, when we're effectively like done everything, I intend to, and I've never forgotten about it, I intend to have like a fully fleshed out like a shit ton of profile pictures.
Awesome.
We're gonna be dreaming for those.
You got a massive Warhammer community, and being a Warhammer fan yourself, you know how much Warhammer fans like their details and lore and things like that. So that's why we want to really delve into it and stuff.
The image on the left, it totally looks like, you were speaking of stamps and stuff, it looks like a stamp or a card or something. Like, it's really, the composition's really nice. It looks like those old timey postcards and shit that you'd see.
Yeah, I love, like, I think I still have some stamps like that. You know, like those in a glossary somewhere, that they were really cool. So I think this is from Turtle and Rabbit. People found it cool. I know Klaus flagged it because of the being ahead of the truck design there, especially the LMG on top.
Yeah, I like that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, there's no way you guys couldn't get ahead on that.
Yeah,
because like it's so predictable.
Yeah, you're right. I like that. I was just about to say, below the predictable one with the MG on top, below that one, the command center type surveillance one, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And the troop transport one, that's pretty cool as well. Like having something like that. I mean, the bus, when the bus first came out, I was like, what the fuck are they doing putting something like that in the game? You know what I mean? But it's turned out to be one of the most useful tools for infantry, like in the current game, dude. Like, honestly, it's so useful to have a bus to transport like your massive infantry sections around and stuff like that. It's excellent. But that type of truck could have been a bus, basically.
It could have been. I think I don't remember exactly why we chose to do a bus, because I don't actually think I was part of that conversation. I did the designs and stuff, but I think it was a matter of, we don't want this to be a frontline thing. Like, we didn't want it to be like crashed. I know obviously you guys are gonna crash everything into the front line if you possibly can, but thematically it was a bus because it was meant to be in like backline regions and whatnot, even if that's not how it eventually got utilized. Anyways, there was a reason. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, I mean, when they first came out, they were definitely utilized as suicide, mass HE.
Everything is.
Yeah, everything is. But now I would say that they're sort of used for their intended purpose a lot more.
Yeah.
And for tier 3 snowstorms, I still remember.
So tier 3 snowstorms.
We'll probably we'll have screenshots later, Julian. But in the middle of a tier 3, we decided to attack Lockheed, I think it was, over the river on the lake.
So, oh my god! Yeah, Jesus. Level 3 snowstorm attack. That was brutal.
Now
the first one.
I want the bus to be gone, and I want that truck in the game, because then you will freeze to death.
No, Julian, just give the colonials it, dude. Just give the colonials it. They didn't come prepared for a warden winter. They didn't
give them the colonial version. Doesn't have a top on the bus. Perfect.
Oh yeah, I should take the top off the bus. And
Oh man, that would be funny.
You heard it here first, boys.
The rage posts about open-topped buses. I desire them immediately.
Oh god. So this is where we get closer to. This is the first one from Saf. Safarin. He is pretty busy right now, but back in the day he used to do all of our art, and this is probably the first one he ever done for Christmas. We still use it every Christmas. We can't get enough of it.
The funny thing is, he just came with it out of nowhere, told no one. All of a sudden, he's, oh yeah, Merry Christmas, and this, and like, what?
I mean, that thing needs hanging next to the Mona Lisa. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
No wonder we use it every Christmas. You know what I mean?
And then we have our I think this is probably the second logo. You can see a bit of more shapes in this one compared to the other.
think there's
Yeah.
a bit of close editing to this because that upside down red triangle carries on into our battalion logos later.
Yeah, it's originally made by shitty DRB though.
Don't be mean. Don't be rude.
I'll be honest with him.
Right. Keeping it moving. Now I need to present it for the ones of you who don't know Gent, the legend. He is one of probably our most prolific Logi guys. Literally, think he wasted a few years of his life no-lifing scrap fields. I'm not joking around.
We threatened to ban him so he
some-
would fucking sleep. That's how bad it was.
Some say Jen still sleeps under Lockmore. Slumbering. One day to return.
And I think this is one attempt for the logos from him on the left side, which is I know we were pretty. I always felt it gave me like this. You know when you see those logos on a can of coffee or a can of something, it felt like so round and nice and.
It
Always
would make a good like laptop sticker thing. For the
Yeah,
kids.
you're right. That would really look nice on the back of a laptop. Don't
It
tell
does give that capital G gamer vibe to it.
don't tell Dardo because he's gonna put it on his like story immediately. He's gonna try and milk it. Right, here comes the HTD on the left. I know somebody told me who made this because this is all the way back 2017, I think. And I well, aside from that LMG or coax or whatever you want to call it, we all dream of. I think everything else is pretty spot on, isn't it?
From the I remember like really early someone did art of like an open topped heavy tank destroyer. Or not heavy tank, open top tank destroyer that used the Devitt kind of chassis like that. And I've just always like I do think it would be perfect for something like that if we ever kind of make it. It would almost be like a lighter version
Yeah.
of a tank destroyer. But it's there are no plans for it, but I really like it. That's what I'm gonna say on that.
Can I ask you?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I love the models. Anytime you guys make models, it's frigging amazing.
Yeah, Klaus and Hans, huge shout out to them. There are German duo who really, like Hans does all the, he's really handy with the actual modeling. And then Klaus is extremely talented with putting them together, and the details on them get better and better with every batch they do. They add like, you'll see later on, I think you also already saw some, they add like little more customized stuff. I think they even add shovels at some point. They look crazy.
Can I ask you a question, Julian? What was the design decision behind like not putting coax machine guns in the game? I mean, we had them on the battle. I think we had didn't we have a body mounted one on the battle tank?
Yep.
But that was it pretty much.
The battle stuff like that, I know, and I wasn't. Again, this isn't my field of like game balance and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally to make the light tanks still require infantry support. Like the light tanks, would not be a vehicle that does everything.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd make the late game tanks only thing even worse than it has been.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
And the battle tank, the turret front gun on the hull of the battle tank was because the battle tank was intended to be a gigantic end game, like it's something to work for, and it was hard, like the engineer seat, it was harder to use overall. So there was this, it needed to be more independent from infantry just because we wanted it to overall be harder to use because it goes like 1 kilometer an hour and whatnot.
All right, yeah, I understand.
There has always in the office been discussion of like pintle mounted and what, like it constantly comes up. Like, should we try it? Should we do it? Should we whatever? So
yeah. Well, I think early access would be the time to try it, but maybe. I mean, I understand what you're saying about there being a need for infantry support around tanks. That has been a necessary and very challenging part of the game, so I wouldn't really want to take that away.
Yep.
really. However, you could put something like a storm rifle instead of a full-on machine gun. You know what I mean? Or something that at least took the ammunition. Maybe it's a low caliber or something like that. But that's just an idea.
Oh yeah.
Go.
It has been discussed. I will say that.
Get the barrels to overheat. Make us curse the day we wished it.
Yeah.
Hey, if the barrels overheat, that means in tier 3 snowstorms they keep you warm.
Oh god.
Let's go.
This is a second one from Saf, I believe. Also out of the blue, just like Evie said, he just slapped this in the Discord one day, and yeah, our jaws just dropped. Like, holy Christ! We didn't even know what to do with it, like where to put it. We want to put it everywhere now.
Yeah.
Also, fucking info and stuff. I believe we were told once that he's an art teacher.
Yes, he did say sometimes that people would actually pay him to teach them to,
Understandable. It's really good.
And then of course Overlook. We can't give up Overlook even if the neutrals are always chasing us around to point out they actually got it. But for us, it's always gonna be like a mark of DK just going ham on a hill for 5 days. So this was sort of just a small thing to remember it by, so I thought it appropriate. Right, now this is basically the logo that we still use from Saf. He took a lot of time on this one, and I always love the detail he put into it.
Yeah, it's nice to see the evolution of from the first one to this, because it's really now it's come alive. Now it's this physical looking thing.
Absolutely. I secretly always loved that little colonial helmet you can see there on the left. I always found that as being a very subtle but very effect-wise sort of a little sneak in he did. We also have Stranger with his cosplay. Evie dug out a picture of Stranger. I think they went and they saw. I know. Were you at PAX that year, Julian? Did they leave you home?
There was only KFC, HP, and Mark, I believe.
I get left at home for those because that was I wasn't popular enough yet. And then COVID happened. So
I think you can leverage for the next one. I would say, with the popularity now, I don't think they can. All you need to do is ping us all, and we're just do you guys want to see Julian at PAX? And then boom, 5,000 upvotes later, you're like, see.
But we at the studio every time there's cosplay stuff. We always like it. It always gets shared around. It's awesome.
Thank you for the follow, you non-essential.
This is so when we decided to go for a YouTube channel, there's that huge banner they ask you to put in, and I was like, there's nothing to fit there. So I asked Saf, and I mean this way of putting it on stream doesn't do it justice, because I remember when he gave it to me, I probably spent half an hour zooming in on each section of it. Because there's so much detail, so many things to watch.
Didn't somebody do the colonial side of this?
No, you're thinking of Defiance. That comes later with Imorphic. This is from Saffron.
This is probably one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite one. It's when I saw it, that's that guy behind that rifleman's shoulder, just yes, I need that as my display picture.
Yeah, and the cross on the helmet is I don't know, it fits so well. It's it's almost real, the cross on the helmet.
Yeah.
I also love the moon in this one. The moon, and you can see the sword being directed towards the colonials, of course.
So dystopian and dark. You know what I mean?
This is from Commissar Jimbo, if you guys remember. He was all over the place, especially earlier on. I remember he even had a radio and whatnot, I think. One of the initial attempts of a press corps, but not quite, I guess.
Yeah. Still pretty good, though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is mostly Photoshop, but like, always love the balance on it, right? How well everything fits in the. It looks like an actual planet.
The composition, yeah, it's great.
Even that, like the little duct tape, you know.
You know, my favorite.
I just realized something on this.
Go on.
The fucking Imperial Quila and the Warden.
That's what I was just about to say, dude. That is my favorite part of this picture.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
I love it.
And for those of you watching, that is still the address for our enlistment center. So pop by and put an application in.
Still the same office. Rent's cheap.
Nothing changed.
Rent's cheap, and they don't complain about the gunshots when we execute traitors.
So I know for a fact we have Mummy on the left, right, Drag?
I think so. This is some of the earliest Mummy stuff. We included Mummy because Mummy's in DK now. So, as Mummy has some of the best warden art out there, we've decided to include some.
Long time ago. Okay, it's confirmed it's Mummy. That's nice. At least we didn't screw up the assumption. And also that little future Silverhand track style was pretty interesting to me.
Okay, that I think is one of the very first little sketches I did for. I did like a whole bunch of before we had tanks at all in the game. I did a whole bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah, Mummy colored it.
Yeah.
It looks really nice, to be honest.
That little thing is absolutely adorable, and we need another small tank in the game that looks just like it.
It just like it's adorable, honestly. It kind of brought me back, if you remember, Julian, you must remember this one, the huge controversy about the Warden truck when it got introduced. You had two gangs, love it or hate it. There was no middle. You remember that?
Yep. I'm on the side of loving it, but I did design it, so I'm biased there.
Yeah, no, it was even in the clan, there was like all our general chats were filled with people arguing over the truck. You know what I mean? Like, it's adorable. No, it's ugly. It's hideous. Oh god.
You didn't model the battle tank by any chance, did you?
I designed it. I didn't model it.
Okay. What's I mean, you're here, dude. You know what I mean. Yep. I need to ask the question. You know, what's the deal with the exposed tracks?
I like them. Literally, that's it.
that I love it.
I think because we have to deal with the top of everything all the time. And a note on this: houses were the most boring thing to design because it was just a roof. Like that's all you see on it. But I needed, like, I kind of went with form over function on that because, like, I know what tank like tread armor is for, but I just thought it looked more unique from a top-down perspective, and I knew we were like with the variants and whatnot. I knew it was a tool I could use later to cover the version that is covered will be the armored version. Like I knew, like,
right?
So that was the deciding of that. It was literally, I think this looks cool. So
I just remember.
I apologize to anyone who hates it, but
dude, just at the time, I mean, it grew on everybody, and we love it. You know what I mean? We made models of it and stuff like that, so we love it. But at the time when it came out and the exposed tracks, I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Because at that particular time in Foxhole, the biggest threat to armor was AP artillery. So the shells were coming down over on your tank. You know what I mean? So if they hit the top of the track, I was like, "Oh, where's the logic?" But I love it now. So
I think stuff like that. Like we knew the game was in flux and stuff like artillery and everything. It's still in flux. No, we like artillery. We've got pretty good. Like we know what's going on with it now. But I mean, like I wasn't designing with that in mind necessarily. It was earlier in the project. It was more about just getting stuff that looked kind of clearly different from one another into the game over how it would actually function in the real world.
So I've said something that I dislike, but I will say something that I did love about the battle tank, and that was its separate turret for the machine gun at the front. Love that.
Again, that was literally just like, for me, rule of cool. I was just like, this will look badass from
Yeah,
our
yeah,
camera,
it did
so.
look badass, dude.
Oh, sorry. On the screen right now, this is that tank I was talking. This is that like thing that I was talking about. That when I saw it, I was just like, yeah, this is cool. This is it looks like it should be a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I grew up into the chieftain, right?
It's straight out the Stormpanzer.
I like because it gives a like steampunk feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At least to me, it looks really cool. Right, keeping the ball rolling here. More little models from Klaus and us. I love the ones when they include terrain. They're like, I think this is the first iteration of the Jeep, which looks so cute.
Yep. I remember the Jeep. It was this like, I want to make something that's like those obscure European like World War II, or like before World War II and between the wars, like those cars that you see that just the one headlight came from that. The whole like warden, everything having one headlight came from this like funky little, I forget what, maybe it was a Fiat car, I forget what it was, but it just had one headlight, and I was just like, and I quite enjoy that when everyone was like, why the hell do they only have one headlight, and the whole like Callahan's one ball meme and all that stuff. I'm personally just laughing at all of that stuff.
It is the best meme reason for the one headlight.
But it came from a photo of a small European car I saw one time.
Well, even more models. I really love the middle one, sort of a combination between the HTD and Chieftain. Looks really cute.
I like how the viewport's so massive that the guy could
Yep.
literally stand
Yeah.
up in it.
This is like a bit of a sneak of Klaus's workstation, which we found pretty cool with all the tools.
Way cleaner than the table I do Warhammer stuff on.
He cleaned this table before he took the picture. It does not look like this, I assure you.
Has to be cheats. Only way it makes sense.
I've seen other pictures, and it's like he's got stuff buried under there, and
Dead animals.
Logi orders, schnitzel, it's all in there.
Oh, speaking of evolution, this is a pretty neat one.
Oh my god.
So yeah, this is how we...
See how we turn from primitive to glory to heretic, all in one photo.
Yep.
We have a huge duck regiment, which is extremely popular with the new recruits. You'll see them quacking at you constantly. It doesn't matter what you do or say to them. So yeah, I'm sure they're gonna be thrilled to see themselves on here.
The person I saw that posted this was Baconator. I don't know if he drew
made
that
it.
in particular.
No, he drew it. He drew it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a nice version of the like the banner background thing that we have.
Yeah, I mean this like black and white sort of style always fits Foxhole so well.
Thank you for the follow, you non-essential.
Just gives you that war
Reminds me
feeling.
of is it DayZ? Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of fits with Daisy actually.
Yeah. I'm sure DayZ has like a silhouette art thing as its cover.
I feel like this would be the art for a solo mission from like Sniper Elite or something, where you've got to go in and take out the colonial commander.
Oh, I love that. He's kicking the heretic off the hill.
This is funny because Evie, am I right to say that these are totally different, like order-wise? They sort of popped in around the same time, if I remember
I think
correctly.
it is. I'm not sure.
It was interesting to see two people sort of be like-minded on the style. But yeah, it's really nice. So now we move to more big boys. I see. Mummy, right? Drag?
Yeah,
Mummy.
it's signed in the bottom.
Oh, sorry,
Oh, yeah,
didn't check it. Assumed off of the style.
Look, he captured the exposed track perfectly.
Amatus, this is your moment. Point, like.
Look at it! Look at what you did.
Not a great job.
But to the credit though, the colonial spanx are on fire even with those tracks. So I would say,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's
maybe.
because we still had AP 75 mil at the time,
Oh,
so you could one shot the light tanks.
And
with it.
not only that, but the other colonial tank is tracked as well. Glory days.
Yeah.
I think the glory days might have returned with armor though, with this update, because we were kicking ass with our fucking tanks this war or
The
last
arm-
war. Sorry.
Armor's worked out really well. Like the last update we did. And again, I didn't have a hand particularly in that. I think I said like, oh yeah, let's go with this style of like like the visuals. But I think it's worked out really well for the game.
Love
Yeah.
the visuals to them too.
I mean, Razor's more to do with armor. I mean, I might be speaking complete heresy here because
no.
But,
I'm actually, I was like waiting for us to do a No Man's Land stream to acknowledge, because we even talked to Mark on Press Corp about it, and we told them a lot of our grievances and stuff. And I feel like, might have not have directly impacted of what we said, but he sure looked at a lot of the issues. I even told him then, I felt like the armor game was way too fast, and it would like, I remember we would like work for 10 to 15 minutes to get the perfect flank, and then the enemy would simply escape because flanking wouldn't mean much. Now in last war we did a flank on a Spaffa, full health Spaffa, right? It looked pristine, and we had 3 iron hides flanked perfectly perpendicular, and I told the gunners, don't fire, wait to get close. We got really close to it. We fired all 3 guns, 90-degree angle, instant disable on the Spaffa. That felt incredible. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like, we did the work for the flank. We got instantly rewarded. I was like, yeah, this feels, whoa. I'm like euphoric about it.
That's great.
And it's really nice to see the frontal, because the old meta would be face each other, take shots. One side is pretty damaged, the other shots rushes it, and they're dead. That would be the meta. Right now, shooting tanks in the face means almost nothing, and I personally love that. I think you all did an incredible job on the armor.
Yeah. I know Mark and Max spent like a long time considering everything of like how to make it work properly. So like props to them, because it's worked out really well so far.
It definitely shows. I will agree, especially because people here know we aren't shy about criticizing. So, but we're also firm believers on acknowledging when change happens and it's meaningful.
No, I'm on the opinion that the like criticism and stuff is good. So obviously, so long as it's constructive, but it does take like there's a turnaround time that I know people who just want to complain, and I'm not saying that the critiquing is complaining, but people like you don't too much time passes between giving legitimate critique and the turnaround time to actually implement a new system for it. But all that said, I'm just pro. Like, if you speak up about things you want to speak up about, because that I don't know, that's me.
It's pretty hard to be constructive 100% of the time with something that you with something that you're so passionate about, because a lot of people are very, very passionate about Foxhole, and a lot of people have different opinions, myself included. You know what I mean?
No, totally.
I really want. I've always wanted to say to a dev that we've never had any issue with the dev team itself. It's just we're so passionate about the game. We really want to see it done right. And so far, you guys are hitting it out of the park with this armor update. So keep it going.
Great.
So we also want to mention Bacon on the right there with his little APC. I think this was the meta in which the APC was similar to a light tank in health, and running them for everything, for like mortars and stuff constantly. They were really fun. I'm not gonna lie, I miss bulky APCs. I don't understand, they got a bit of a buff on this update, so they're not as flimsy as they were once, but like HMG still melt them, so people are still sad about that.
If you say that too loud, we're never going to get him out of the APC.
I think APCs are something that will be in flux. up until we have, and I know we've said this publicly as a company, but like we do want to do boats. We do want to give them their due like love. But it will be something kind of post. It'll be like a big update post 1.0. But I think the APC will be in flux until we've fully figured out boats, because right now it's kind of it's a boat, but it also drives around in combat, and we have to really balance it, and it's required a bunch of changes over time and whatnot. I just personally think it will find its home, like it'll find its final place in that period of time.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. Having more boats is gonna give it.
I'm so glad to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Because for so long I've been chirping on about water being this mist theater in Foxhole, where we could just have we could have so much going on in the water that we don't have going on at the moment, and it's very good to hear somebody say that there's something eventually going to come to the water.
We're aware that it's like a lacking element right now. Like we're pretty much everything you've said we're aware of, and I know that there's some people on the team, myself included, that are super passionate to like we want boats. So it's just a matter of time.
I'd say
at this point.
the biggest challenge to water is the set out of the map, because even though you've got a river that stretches through the entire map, a lot of areas of that river are so narrow that you can put AT guns on either side or whatever, you know what I mean? So you can only really use the entire river if you're already smashing the enemy into their home regions, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think I could foresee something where like I don't think you'd be able to fit like some sort of conceptual like thinking of a battleship. I don't think you'd be able to fit something down that river. So I think they'll be defined like not defined, but just kind of logical based off of how big something looks. Limits to certain things. I don't know. And I'm literally just like spitballing here.
yeah, absolutely, dude, yeah.
And if you can convince Matt to make the river wider, good luck with that.
Yeah, it would be hard to fix the map as it is into something where water would be a theater across the map. At the moment, it's going to be. Doesn't matter how big of an update you release, it's always going to be focused on the flanks. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but the only way that I could see around it is if you put I don't know, a river system to the north and to the south, and you just say if you go to this certain location on the north or south of this particular map on the east or west, you auto travel through this river or something. I don't know.
So just to keep things moving, these are the glorious ducks in a little section photo. For whoever's asking, that's a squirrel. That's Kaz. That's Kaczynski, their leader, which prefers to go by squirrel and also acts like. You'll see more of him later. Don't worry.
If you've ever been to a park, the squirrels are clearly in charge of the ducks. Like,
yeah. We always felt like that's what's going on here. So. It's confirmed. It's dev confirmed right now.
I love how
lore accurate right here.
I love how he's clearly murdered a duckling and is wearing its head and
it's like, so the other ones don't act up.
Yeah.
Here's even more of well, they do love safe houses, so this one also makes sense from a lore perspective. Ducks generally flock to safe houses a lot in the game these days. Hiroshi is confirming in chat he loves them.
Still wearing the head of the duckling even a year later.
It's been taxidermied at this point.
So speaking of attacks, this attack from like Klaus was spot on. I feel like.
Yeah.
Even if it's colonial.
Hey, I love it.
No, it is.
I love that little armored car. I took the vetted version of that out in Umbral right at the end of the war, last war, with this guy, and we were just going along the roads, like killing partisans and blasting Vietnam music. It was like the best thing ever.
I like that Hans just kept going back and editing his files to make these a little bit better every time.
Yeah, and I mean Klaus did a lot of work also with the visuals, just improve. You can see on the Jeep, like the Jeep looks proper wooden on top now. It has that nice radio, like Jesus Christ, the detail.
That radio and that kind of cylindrical shape going on in the radio. It is weird, but it's one of my favorite designs in the game because it's one of those things that's like I had to design a little wacky radio shape, but it didn't really need to conform to anything. So I was literally like cylinder, square, little antennas, little extra bits all over the place. And it just like it was one and done, and I'm just like, yeah, it's cool. I like it. And every time I see it, just like whenever I can, it's on some of the observation towers. I think it's on the safe house and stuff. It's worked in all situations, and it's its own little language. You see that in Foxhole, and you know it's a radio. Even though if I showed you one in real life, it's a cylinder and a square. So I like it.
It's definitely unique, and it looks very awesome, especially on a real life design like this one. Really comes to life.
We should get a cylinder like that. We should get that for a radio backpack. A warden radio backpack should look like that.
Just a tube.
Just a tube with a thing on the end of it. Yeah.
I think the next one is the BTs. The next one.
Yeah. Here are the BTs. The sandbag one was always sort of my favorite, just because of the posture of it. Looks menacing.
I was going for, I think one of the images that inspired the BT in the first place was one of the prototype. I forget what prototype Tiger tank, I think, but like I found some really old reference for it. That, and there's a picture out there of the Tog 2 tank, but it was backwards. Like the turret was turned around backwards on it. And that's actually why the turret ended up being pushed back further on this tank. Because it was just this little like reference of having a lot of track in front of the turret on a tank. And I just kind of visually mixed the two. And this is what we ended up with. And it was kind of fun. Mark thought when Mark originally kind of turned around to it and liked it, it was because he thought it looked like a boat, and I agreed that it looked like a boat, and it just had this. I don't know. It had a really good vibe to it, so we went with this design.
Yeah, I always thought crocodile for some reason. I don't know why. Just probably something out of Company of Heroes for me. But that's always the vibes that I got from.
So you mean Churchill?
Yeah, it's the top.
Churchill, basically.
Yeah.
It's even an Ascension bow in there.
Have we got a Silverhand model, haven't we? On it?
I don't think he hasn't made one though.
Yeah, I think it's too long to fit in the 3D printer.
One of my other favorite things in the entire game.
So
is the Warden halfdrag.
So
I actually have one of those.
I was about to say this is actually my favorite vehicle in the game. This
Yeah.
particular half-track is my favorite vehicle in the game. Like I love German World War II half-tracks. That is my niche thing. I absolutely love them. And this thing, I mean, it doesn't look like one, but it reminds me of it a little bit.
It captures that feel.
And it does very well. And I've always loved driving this thing. I mean, it's been nerfed as time's gone on, and it's not as widely applicable today as it once was, but it's still definitely got a place, even at late game, really. But the amount of bloody pushable guns that are going around today, hiding in bushes, this thing can only tank 2 shots from it, and it's gone. So late game, it's starting to struggle a little bit. But if you keep it behind tank formations and stuff like that, it can still help with anti-infantry and stuff.
I remember when I was working on this one, Anthony thought it looked like it could have been a 1940s Batmobile. He was just like, if with a few changes, if Batman in the 40s had a half-track, this is what it would look like. And I was just like, yeah, that's like it's working now. And I remember Mark was actually concerned that you guys wouldn't like it at one point. There was a time where he was just like, I don't know about this one, man. And then up until the point where we released it, I did a few different, like the front vision, the driver slit. I did a bunch of revisions on that where it was like looked a bit more high tech, looked like there was 2 separate slits, or there was the headlight was kind of embedded, so that the slit would be half the size, and the headlight was embedded in it. And Mark was just like, I really don't know. I'm really not sure about this. And then the second we showed it to you guys, like you guys just loved it, or the
Yeah.
community in general. And Mark was just like, oh, thank God. Like, oh, I was, yeah.
Now this thing looks like a boat. Like,
Yep.
this thing is 100% a boat. You know what I mean?
I'm ready for the aquatic version then. The warden speedboat.
I mean, I would be remiss
But-
if I didn't mention the fact with the dev on the stream that we need more troop slots in the half-track's rear. Even if they can't shoot, just give them transportation capability.
That I cannot confirm or deny anything, but we have discussed that recently. Actually, like that has been a topic recently.
Just like it, like on any vehicle, really, there should be options to carry some infantry. You know, if it's applicable.
With I know the one colonial thing, you can sit on the back of it now, and
Yes.
we have reviewed. It's kind of a element of like we do want you to be able to sit on vehicles, but there's like some gameplay concerns, including tanks with turrets that can turn 360 degrees, and like what should happen. Should the guy sitting on the tank stop the turret? Should the turret,
absolutely.
Should the turret kill the guy sitting on the tank? That causes like griefing issues in both cases, because if you could just lock down a turret, if you could cut out like a part of the rotation of a turret just by sitting on a tank, that's pretty damn stupid. So we want it. I'll just say that we want it, and we're figuring it out what we're gonna do with it.
Well, with the turret thing, the turret should probably kill the person. Because see, the way that I see it, if infantry are riding a vehicle like a tank, it's not to fight from the tank.
Yep.
It's to get a lift to the front line, or to be on the tank, so you can provide that the infantry carried on a vehicle like a tank should be that tank's infantry support.
Yep.
That deploys from the tank to combat sticky runners and things like that. It should be the player's penalty on the back of the tank if he doesn't get off in time, if his commander's yelling at him down the radio to get off the tank and support the tank, and the tank's turrets turn to face a threat. I think he should be the one penalised for that.
That, again, this is one of those, like, we're thinking about it, and it just needs time to like bubble up in a Foxhole pod of something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll pop it in why I changed the slide. We had people discussing about maybe making it faster as well, because they feel way too slow. They're like slow as tanks. So a lot of people are like, why is not faster?
Oh, the infantry, the new tank.
Yeah, well, in the half tracks as well. But the new tank, I guess, yeah, it sort of goes in the same line.
I don't balance it, so.
Oh no! We were just like like talking on it. I know we never. People mostly see dev and they want to at least hear it. That's a thing that happens a lot. I think this is from our
Chipmunk.
boy Chipmunk. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen these before.
It's gonna be interesting to see the progression.
This is some of his earliest stuff that he used to share with us. I want to say it was started with the one on the left, and there was another one we may not have on here. It started as just non-colored sketches, and he slowly added them in. He also has another one of an ATR team that I know if Mav is watching, he'll get excited about. This is some of his progression from when he first joined and started sharing art with us. I particularly like I can't remember who it's for, but there is the one on the right. I always liked that he had free hugs on his helmet. Because that's just Chipmunk if you've ever interacted with him. He's just a really nice guy.
Cool.
Apollo, just from looking at his art has gotten 10 times better in the span of a year, and it's scary.
I love that he's got his clone designation on his chest plate as well. It's like, that's true, Krieg. What is your name? It is B331, sir.
There's the ATR picture. I knew it was going to come up. You can also see some of the. Finally, we'll get some orc art in here for Dark Leftovers, who is, I'm certain, very upset right now that not a single boy has been shown.
Man. No, these are great. Especially the sweet running pose of the orc. It's,
I'm not certain A, who drew that, or B, what's going on with those legs, but an effort was made.
Pretty sure Dark drew it. Yeah,
This is early dark art?
Yeah, he was
Early
annoyed.
dark art.
Yeah, he was annoyed that he wanted to go play the war, but the second he started to play the war, we won.
done that to him a
Before
few
he
times.
joined, he was really annoyed.
I understand the context now. So he's just got in the fight and he's won, and then it's total victory.
I think we've repeatedly done that to him. Like when the Colonial Ballistas first came out, we stole like 8 of them. Carson stole 6 of them, but we got 8 of them, and he was so excited to come home and use them. And while he was driving home, we ended the war.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Evie, you get the left.
Yeah, it's like it's a Christmas gift from Blissmore for DK of DK Chan doing the pattern. It doesn't show here, but it's animated, so it does spin, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I like that that's not the first priority for the medic. It's just some other bullet hole on his back.
I mean, it's even went past that now. It's like, does the guy on the floor have any valuable equipment? If the answer is yes, immediately execute him and take it.
Yeah.
Well, and what we've learned so far is that if you just take out some gauze and wipe all the raspberry jam off your buddy, he's going to be just fine. So don't worry about it.
I'm here, my brother. Okay, more DK-chan.
The collection. Oh, there's the collection.
Yes, here it is in all its glory. More from Bliss.
All from Bliss.
All of our good emotes.
Yeah, all are really good emotes.
What date was this released?
2019?
It is the day heresy crept into the clan.
No, that's 2017 when everyone was a Tano. That was
There's
true
about
heresy.
30 different days that heresy crept into the clan at this point. The Duck
Indeed.
heresy, the DK
So
Chan
much
emote.
heresy.
I don't think we're loyal to Imperium anymore. I think it's just heretical clan now.
Indeed. I would face smash the exterminators button when we invent one.
But you have to gauge the fan base, like even for a clan, the size of a clan and whatnot, and for the game, depending on what type and how much anime art gets made, it just means that more and more people are playing or watching, right? So it's kind of like once you get the first anime stuff going, then it's a badge of honor that you've made it this far. And then when you get into this style of anime and this style of anime, and it keeps like growing and growing, then it just means more and more people are playing, right? So it's always awesome.
Yeah, we reached the part of the clan where we're starting to attract furries with furry art.
Oh no, yes, the last video from Davian.
It's a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor to that they want in as well.
All of the respect that I built up for you before this, and while I've been speaking to you, has just gone out the window. Goodbye, gone. Go in the other room with the rest of them. Go on.
I'm sorry to break your heart, but it is true.
It's actually been getting better because now with that particular piece of media that Davian made for us attracting furries, it's also getting assholes to not join. So
Yeah,
for the best.
yeah, that's a very interesting discussion because like now you have people like, you know,
You're
like
a dwindling breed.
those DK people have furries, you know, like have furries in there. They're saying like, you know, we have some sort of disease. It's funny as fuck because like now we don't have to. Generally, they slip through the cracks, right? And then we have issues. And now they're just like not applying anymore. So it's a win-win for everybody actually.
If something's on the internet and it's popular enough, you can't choose what art gets made over it. So you might as well just enjoy it and have fun with just let the people that want to make it, and everybody has fun. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people like to meme and a lot of people like to complain, but we have a little bit of everything. It's always entertaining. It's so fun. I think the one on the right is dark. I think it's one of his first doodles, right, Drac? Of bacon
So-
or like.
It's when he got the new draw pad. It's when he was doing all the cursed duck photos.
I think Bacon colored it though.
Yeah, and he colored it so nicely. It fits the mood the mood of the poor duck. Full disclosure, I think this was basically named something like Bacon after playing Foxhole.
Left hand side is Goot as Bayonet Santa.
Bayonet Santa, yeah, that was a fun one.
I love how it doesn't look like that pipe's like going into a gas mask. It just looks like he's
In
like,
the sucking
ripping
out.
some- yeah, he's just like ripping a bong or something.
Oh boy. Another one of Gent on the left, and I do believe you can see Chip getting it better already on this one. Not to the stage we're gonna see him later, but he's already, that's pretty improved if you ask me.
Now that's my type of art, stoic and bland.
So the gent on the left is actually after just this past Dead Harvest, because some of us are a bunch of terrible RPers. We joked around about having a ritual to bring Gent back from life, and for a brief time he was back and playing. So this is reincarnated Gent.
I love
A
those
lot
cheeks.
of dead rip. So many dead guardsmen just to get him back.
All worth it.
Yes.
Can you remember that body pile on that zombie
I have pictures
video
of
that
it.
we did?
Yes, we're gonna have pictures of it later. Do we know who this was? I know it was a Logi member, but
Yeah, this guy is no longer with the clan, but I can't really remember his name that well.
But
he
I
was
just
Logi
love
for
it.
a bit.
can I sleep now? That's
Little
so
work for
funny.
Logi.
No, mutant, you will work till death.
Yeah, I want to say like just randomly he'd been doing a bunch of logic and then just dropped this on us.
Is
I
this
still love it.
Is it right around the time when he stopped playing? Then, if it's just was this a cry for he actually needs sleep?
I was telling me it might be Purple Light. It's actually, yeah, it might be him.
It
I remember being
happens.
furry.
It happens for us pretty often to have to send people to bed by force these days. I'm not gonna lie.
No, to be honest, I'm all for taking a break and like taking a break for if you played and had a ton of fun in one war, but you're kind of burnt out, then skip the next one and just take care of yourself.
Yeah, we generally try and do those sort of breaks even organized, so we can keep going. We finally arrived to Defiance, I believe. This is the Warden side of Defiance, the first one that was commissioned by Moffic from Superior.
Yeah, I remember this. All this stuff gets shared around the office when we see it. And by office, I mean we're all in our own homes because of COVID. But
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
Slack or whatever, Microsoft
Yeah.
Teams.
mean.
Yeah, just DK-chan sitting stoically there, although it makes Avitus's blood bubble. Looks pretty unique, especially because
Could be
her
worse.
armor looks like something more medieval than futuristic. I always loved that.
At least she's wearing a proper uniform. Scantily clad in some armored bikini or something.
Oh, you gotta wait for the beach episode that we're getting done. Don't worry.
No,
Fine.
no.
Oh god. I also love I think there's some like Aussie hats on the infantry on the left to represent Anzac. I love that. I always love that. And then the Howies you can't really notice if you're not paying attention in the back. Those was another really cool element to see.
Right.
Okay, I believe keeping on track here, the right one is still from Superior. It's sort of a selfie of Imoffic. He even has the little scorpion from Scarus section.
So
on.
good. I'm so fucking jealous of that.
Yeah,
I wish
Yeah.
I had the money to get one of like my character like that. It's so fucking good. With the scorpion makes it. You know what I mean? Because it's like Scarus and shit. So good, man.
Yeah, both of these are awesome.
and then the left is Saffron. I believe this is the last one before he got really busy and couldn't really help us more. We basically it was like a t-shirt design. I saw some t-shirts actually with this on. It looks amazing.
I have a t-shirt of that and a poster on my wall, and I'm happy.
Oh, this would make an awesome T-shirt.
Yeah, like I feel like there's even it's a bit hard to see if you don't have the picture to make it big, but on his left eye that's an actual DK flag with the actual logo on it. Level of detail again is fucking nuts, especially to that micro level. It's just like mind blowing to me always.
Like on the Amothic one, on the you went past it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's problem. You can say.
I was just saying that like to Julian, the Scorpion represents one of our infantry sections, because each infantry section's like called something else, and we have different things that represent them. Obviously, Reductus has ducks, and Tempestus has furries. Well, Manly Scarus has scorpions.
In reality, they have fish. These people used to acknowledge it.
Manly scorpions, testosterone.
If you Google Scarish, it's
Google
a
says fish.
So.
Testosterone and manliness.
That's what's going on 24/7 on our Discord. If you were ever curious, that's basically it. Just people yelling, "You're a fish," "No, you're a duck," "No."
Well, for Pestis, it's completely accepted our path.
So this is actually Polish bunkers, the base Ivan built, that even got a few nuke attempts, which he was really proud of. I mean, there's like a tradition, at least on the warden side. If you have a bunker and the colonials try to aim a nuke at it, you instantly get famous. So
you made an awesome bunker if it's worthy to aim a nuke at.
So Dark sort of captured, I like it. It's like it looks like one of those like graffiti neighborhoods for some reason. From if you're not picking up on details, you know what I mean? With those posters all over the place, and then the ballistas moving in to try and bully it. It's so funny. And then Dark did this incredible, like that's actually the face of Iwan, our Logi commissar. He took a picture of him and just made this fucking little interpretation of it, and we had the idea to put opor on it, which means resistance in Polish. Cool. Therefore forming the Polish resistance of the war. It was a really fun time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes, Kasuti from 11th was a huge part of it. Archon, I remember he helped a lot with maintaining and whatnot of the bunker. It was I
remember them talking about this bunker because this was Lossi's first attempt at a bunker.
Yeah.
They had no idea what they're doing, and all of a sudden he became so famous.
It was also very funny because the Seas were like holding at cut for 5 days, and nobody really acknowledged them that much. Yet this bunker, who resisted for like 2 or 3 days, got all the publicity of it. It's just like real history, It doesn't matter what actually happens. It only matters what actually gets in the history book, sort of a thing.
Well, I learned a Stark lesson as a CE commander, which is from now on I just ping Foxhole like Ewan did every time that the bunker was being attacked.
Oh, here we go. About the squirrel leading the ducks. I mean, they look more like geese on this one, but it's still like probably one of my favorite doodles from Dark Leftovers. Those ducks look so good with those AGs in hand. Jesus Christ!
I love both of these pictures.
Very, very, very well done, especially on the. They even had a name for that menu. I don't remember it exactly on the left. It was so funny.
Klaus has it posted somewhere because he's the one that requested it from Dark. Julian, have you ever like concepted out what fast food would look like in Foxhole?
I have not. We did do cigarettes at one point, but like we made up some brands and stuff, but not fast food now.
We need to know what those brands are, because I got a bunch of people who are really into lore right now who are probably like, what is it? Where can we find it? What is it?
I don't know if it ever made it into the game or not. I'd have to check with Matt, but there is something.
That meal reminds me of. It was like if Foxhole was a Disney film, that would be the kids meal at McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Hey, I want the truck. I want that truck collectible cup.
Here's I believe these are like last gen models over here, with the BT even with custom.
Oh yeah.
First in blemish. Yeah, that half track looks.
The Ascension.
It's probably the Ascension, because it even has the stripes on the barrel.
Yeah, look how long the barrel is.
Yeah.
We've actually talked about the idea of adding like numbered stencil kind of stuff to vehicles, but that would be like super polish on the game, like way down the line. But it
Yeah.
has come up a number of times, the idea of like having it everyone you make it tax on like 214, 215 and whatnot. Just
That would be awesome.
we all think it would be awesome. So
Custom
I mean,
shapes,
something that see, I've always been a thing for people are saying, "Oh, we want to customize our vehicles." I said it's not going to work. You can't get too much customization on the vehicles. It's just too much to add into the game, really.
Yeah.
It's just it'll just make everything stupid. If you make your vehicle look too alien to what it actually is, it's
Yeah.
not going to be good, and that type of thing. So I think everything should be kept uniform. The one thing that I would change about color schemes, customization, that number system that you just mentioned, excellent. That type of thing, brilliant. The other thing is, say for instance, you capture a colonial spather and you take it to Saltbrook Vehicle Factory and you click on the 100% repair thing. When that happens, if you're a warden doing that, it should change the spather to a warden color scheme, in my opinion.
We've again, that is something that has also come up in the same vein as this like number thing, and it's definitely like it we all think it's cool, but it's super low priority right now basically.
Yeah.
I have considered the idea that would the wardens necessarily repaint a colonial tank, or would they give it some sort of like unique marking as like
Ooh.
this is a junk
Yeah.
enemy tank?
Yeah,
Even better, Julian.
That would be-
You're speaking
that
our
would-
language.
That would be
Yeah.
brilliant, dude. Something like that would be excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just anything, just like a marking, just to to show that it's friendly. Because you see, things like can happen. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot anymore, but it used to happen very frequently. Say if you captured a colonial tank and say you're in Umbral on a back road or something like that,
Yeah.
a truck coming towards you, or anything coming towards you that's got vision on you through binos or anything like that, and they can't see that it's an enemy tank coming towards them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that is, it's pretty good, but I think that you should at least have the option of marking the tanks. So, and it can happen the other way around as well. I've seen friendly tanks destroyed by people thinking that there's enemy tanks coming down the road, when
Yeah.
in fact it's a captured enemy tank sort of thing.
No, it would be badass if/when we can do it. It's just
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
high.
yeah. I understand that it wouldn't be a high priority thing. I just think that it's something that should be in the final product.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is the longest living tack you've ever seen, too.
Yeah. I always remember that early video Razor where you're like, oh, there's an armored car. It's like, watch it die. It's like literally 2 seconds later, an RPG comes and destroys it.
Your mic Razor.
No, I'm here. They're just panicking. Don't worry. Probably just a bit of a issue from me, but should be fine. Mostly they need to hear you guys, not me. I just talk a lot. Okay, I think this is still chipmunk, right? Drag?
That
think we're-
is good.
Oh, it's good, right? Sorry.
This is good. Yep.
Yeah, how could I even like do that mistake when there's all those bayonets over there? I'm sorry.
Also,
Cute.
just really quickly, because we missed it, the picture that was on the right of the previous slide
My bad.
was from Lisek. It was Czar, and I cannot remember the name of the
Sen.
little Sen.
Sen. Yeah.
It's from the Foxhole D&D game that I believe Rod
Yeah,
was running.
that's awesome. Yeah. Sick.
Really nice pencil.
Now we can go to Goot and his bayonets.
Yeah, good and his his backs of bayonets.
Gute, by the way, is the most fanatical warden. Like, and that's coming from Avidus. You know what I mean? Like, he is way more fanatical than I am about Callahan. Like, never ever badmouth Callahan around Gute, because Gute is on another level, guys. Okay, he will. at the mere sound of gunfire, run towards it and hope a bullet will hit him.
I really love this one. I'm not gonna lie. It was so good when they first appeared. Oh god.
If I remember correctly, the context of it is that ship meant to stop a nuke about 10 seconds before it launched.
Yeah, it was that close. It was when they used. I'm not even gonna lie. I was extremely mad about this one. They almost got Ogmoran from the other side, from that little island, before the map properly changed. It was so annoying because the only way to prevent them from doing it would have been to have people build watchtowers over there every 4 hours or even less, I think, because it was in rapid decay. So it was extremely annoying. I do believe they were in one of those bunkers. They destroyed the connector to it, and Sheaf got the satchel off in the last few seconds.
Thank you for the follow, you non-essential scum.
So that was quite the close call. And I do remember we also had a lot of stuff in Ogmoran that were like our entire depot and whatnot was in Ogmoran. So if that would have went down, it would have been a drama fest, I feel like. And then on the right side, Drag, maybe you can help me because I'm not sure. I'm not good with this stuff. Who has the anime?
Thank you for the follow, you
I guess we don't. Oh, Mummy again,
The
right?
anime stuff is going to be Mummy.
Yeah, I was about to say.
My audio may have messed up, so I need to be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Once people pointed it out, it was pretty clear, Mummy. It is way different though from the early stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, because he started doing Tanya style, like Yosasaki.
Looks
For
Yeah,
my
good little
thing.
piece.
yeah. I'm not in anime at all, but I can say it feels a huge improvement visually to me. It's pleasing aesthetic, even if I'm not in the style of anime general. This is dark, right? I'm pretty sure on the Warden SPG.
Yes.
Such a cute thing. I do like the name.
Reminds me of that 3D model from earlier on.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I really hope we get the cutie like this at this point. Would be fun.
Just fixed them back.
Nice, thank you. And what about the flag? I'm hovering between Chip and Good, I guess.
That's Chip.
Chip, yeah.
Yep, that's Chip's. Not as late as I think the most recent stuff we saw him in. It's kind of an in between. I know this is Chip because he pinged me with it one day.
Looks pretty nice. I like the flag.
Now the pose is good for holding the flag. Like it's got weight to it. It's good.
And this is Chip basically these days, right? And this is why we were talking in the beginning, Julian. Like, holy, the progression from those to this, they're so good. The Darkest Dungeon.
I really want to call that bad, but I can't, can I? He may be a mutant, but it's still good art.
The Darkest Dungeon vibe is incredible.
Yep.
These have been his most popular stuff. I mean, every time he posts them, our channel just goes insane.
The mainly thing is, like, because we were all sleeping on his art. Most people didn't really notice it and so on. All of a sudden, these came out, and people were like, what the fuck? He did this good. What?
For Krieg and Empire.
I think people have already been pestering him to figure out how to get it into Darkest Dungeon as a mod so we can use it.
Mm.
This is Viper Remembers, if I'm not mistaken. It's the colonial perspective, mainly the 404 storm cannons in Reaching Trail that were very close to Viper and bombarded Viper for like 4 to 5 days. And then the...
That was hell. That was hell on earth.
Yeah.
That war was brutal in Vipers. Like, it was under constant artillery fire for days. Days, days, and days.
Thank God the new update wasn't there yet, Julian, so we weren't getting craters and stuff, otherwise we might have been in trouble.
It was literally the war before the update, because I remember...
Yeah, it was 69.
Yeah. It was brutal.
Because we were 69 DK. Well, at least some of us were. Those of us who like the meme were 69 DK.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking children.
Well, you know, memes are memes. We're here to live them.
This is a great piece too. Like this is another one that everyone at the office was looking at and talking about.
Yeah, everything's top notch. I also like the, the approach of showing it from the colonial perspective, rather than trying to get a point. It was literally like this. The map was literally like this. There were wards scattered everywhere. I remember, like in all of those open fields of reaching each other. Everywhere you go, you find a warden just like hoping to get a colonial piece. It was really fun.
Julian, give us carryable faction flags, please.
I like how Avatars just remind.
Give them.
For a long time.
We need them so badly. I need to carry a flag into battle with 100 HEs behind me.
I like how Avatars just remembers stuff, and he's like, Julian, we need this, Julian.
Please, it's been years.
What?
We've had a lot of mummy stuff. We really wanted to highlight this. It's one of my favorite pieces of mummies on the left, where she has the DK tag on her collar, and then the study she did on the right hand side.
Thank you for the
Yeah,
follow, you
great.
non-essential scum.
And this is the most recent one from Superior. This is this is basically Moffing saying he wanted something to represent the clan. There's even, you must know it, Julian, the popular 40k picture of Greeks with the banner. It's made out based on that. If somebody has it,
Yeah.
probably could.
Oh no, and yeah, I remember. Like when I think I saw this on Reddit. Like first saw it on Reddit, and yeah, it's friggin' amazing.
Makes an excellent phone lock screen.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So another question from your point of view.
Yeah.
How did you sort of over time come to realize that the way that people were looking at Callahan as sort of like this godlike figure that we were chanting his name and things like that? Is that something that you intended, or?
It's something that was something that was intended in the lore for Wardens, that he was this kind of the figure that made the society, if that makes sense.
Right.
And you got like the fans and it becoming this thing. It almost happened naturally. Like there was no one point where it's just like, oh crap, everybody got it. It just slowly, it's just like he's now this legendary figure, and that's frigging awesome.
I love when we got the proper statue of Callahan and stuff like that, and like at the end of every war, it's like customary for every warden to make a pilgrimage or attempt the pilgrimage to the statue to give thanks.
I think if you Adam sculpted that, I think, and I think he sculpted a couple attempts at it before because I think there was one where it looked like he had way more robes on. Anyways,
right.
Yeah, it was Adam.
We had the idea of, like there's the half destroyed statues of Callahan. We really wanted the ability to like spend 5,000 BMATs to rebuild them and things like that. And then when the colonials retake the city, they can like deface them or whatever. Yeah, and then we can rebuild them, blah blah blah.
That's a fun idea.
You could probably put like 5 million BMATs and people would still rebuild them.
Indeed. Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, dude. We make it priority. Day one of the war.
There'd be a whole sub faction just for building this, scrapping to build the statue again.
I mean, we already have tech made, so
yeah.
We can't build bunker bases. The SOP-CE's got to handle the statues. We'll be back later.
This just in. Oh, speaking of C's, hello, Mr. Drac. What is this? Tell us.
So when the Polish bunkers happened, the cut had been holding it for 5 days already, and I had some members who were getting a little salty that they were never getting mentioned. So I asked Dark to draw something up, and it told a story. I'm the Necron Octopus. That's kind of what I've become.
I was going to ask about that.
I originally started in this clan with the concern meme. The Necron concern meme was my photo, and then someone later found out my favorite animal is an octopus, and I turned into a Necron octopus, and then slowly it's just evolved from there.
What's with the loaf of bread with the helmet on?
So
What's the
we
backstory behind that?
we have a member whose name is surprisingly Bread.
Yeah.
This particular war, Bread, for whatever reason, when I said, "Hey, we need to have supplies in this town to cut, because we're gonna have to defend it a lot," he took that to mean I need you to make every single thing we could ever need to fight a war forever. And daily I would show up and there would be another 16 crates of machine guns or 400 crates of satchels, and he's just constantly churning them out the whole war.
Since it's obviously picking out characters and whatnot, I just wanted to know if the loaf of bread was a character or if it was just a helmet, because there's like a box of supplies and a loaf of bread, so it could have just been a helmet drawn on. But it's
Resting on a loaf of bread.
Yeah, resting on a loaf of bread. But it's good to know that there's a story behind it.
Yeah. Well, I want to also welcome Kaz, who has been hard at work, but now he managed to jump in here. We've been talking a lot of nonsense over here, and it has been really fun. Welcome, Kaz.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Okay, let's keep the ball rolling. I believe this is from Drag Help Me? Mummy? Or
This is Mummy. So this is Mummy's HTD photos.
Oh, these are great.
Yeah, that's excellent. I like the storage thing in the back.
Yeah.
Look at the bottom right one. That's a duck.
it would be fun to, like Julian was saying, it would be fun to ride these, like just sit on them. Would be really nice.
That was
Yeah.
one thing. This was one of the ones that when we were starting the process of being able to sit on vehicles, I was like, how do we sit on this? And the technical thing being we'd need some like custom poses for the character, and that is currently one of the things that we're considering. Like, we need to kind of average out all the tanks in the game and figure out the most reusable poses that we can come up with, because we can't have like 87, 88 different poses. That would just be a waste of space for the game. But we need basically in order to get people sitting on here, we need to figure out if we can reuse the pose anywhere else in the game before we kind of go ahead. With that stuff like those storage things on the back of the one tank, I'd love to have stuff like that if there was some way to do it that was like kind of dynamic or custom, or if you have, I don't know. I have always been a proponent of when you see photos of tanks from like World War II and they're covered in crap that the people just had on them or were carrying with them and whatnot. But it's just not currently technically been possible to pull off stuff like that. But I love it.
Just an idea about that. I mean, instead of adding it as like a customization option, could you not just have 3 set models of HDD, and whenever you build one, you get a random chance to get one with crates on the back or something?
We've definitely talked about that. Like, that's definitely an option that's been discussed, and it's a matter of priority time and
totally
finishing the conversation. But that it's been discussed, because I think that personally is a really cool idea.
See, a lot of people, I mean, there's obviously things that have needed fixing here and now. I mean, this isn't one of them, but I think a lot of people are they like to know that things will eventually come into the game. You know what I mean? And I don't think a lot of people aren't really, like, for instance, I would love Sea Combat to be out tomorrow. You know what I mean? But just the knowledge that it will one day be in the game is good enough for me. You know what I mean?
Stuff like boats, like I've said, we've talked about it publicly before. This isn't new. It might be new information to people who've never heard it before, but it's not new to shit that we've released. Like, new vehicle 2020s are still a thing, even though we're going into 2022 at some point. But like, it's all, I don't know, boats. Like we've said, they'll happen after 1.0, and we want to give them their due love and a big update for them.
Awesome.
Evie, would you like to describe this heresy to us?
It's something Dark drew up and then Bacon later colored, but it's just Tempestus was in a bit of a phase where everyone just decided to be evolutions and so on, or the Officer Corps, and
All I can input to this is I have a Whippet dog, like my small Whippet, and her name is Evie. So that's
oh no!
Oh my god, that's pure mean.
The plot thickens.
Shit.
Yeah.
What I like most about one of the things I like most about this photo anyway is that the Hans one just looks so smug.
Oh yes, the German pose. I do like Stranger's one. Like it's so it identifies him with his character so well. I think Dark nailed because Stranger is in love with these little demons, and it's always funny to see. This is one. This is one we asked Dark to do for the Vengeance video. Basically, one of the wars where the Spafa was.
Versus turn into robot.
Oh, okay.
You did not for me.
I guess my microphone is doing strange things. Sorry. I'll keep going though. Hopefully, unless other people complain, I'll try and fix it afterwards. So we had this war where, because of frustration of how many tanks the colonials could bring to a fight, and we would never kill enough, we decided, especially because we have a lot of members talented on like partisaning and stealing stuff, we decided let's go full colonial tanks. No more warden tanks. So we have a full video about us just using colonial tanks. And the most successful one was when we also brought HOC, Friendly Clan, with us, with over 15 colonial tanks and attack deadlands. It was so nutty, man. Like there would be like colonial tanks fighting colonial tanks everywhere. Nobody would understand what's happening.
It's a good tactic because then they don't know if they're shooting friend or foe.
Yeah, it was really entertaining. Sadly, now with the change in not being able to repair armor, it's not that viable anymore. Although it's still worth it and it's still fun, but at least it's not. I think it stopped a lot of the griefing, though. I'm very positive. Mm-hmm. It pains me to say, like, because it was fun to be able to repair enemy tanks, but I think it's a fair price to pay with. Like people having like black market trades and other stuff. You would hear of it. It was pretty silly, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been a good solution. The whole armor revamp for stuff like that.
And these are also from Dark. The one on the left is something we commissioned them on for armor to show up new players how to position themselves against enemy tanks on the new meta.
Yeah, and an instructional. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like especially the shots. I feel like he made them look so nice. The explosive shots on the tank.
No, it's good. I like it.
I personally like the bouncing.
Yeah, even the bouncing looks really nice. And then the rent-free one was full disclosure, was aimed because colonials are known to like in trash talk us on FOD, so people thought of something to respond without responding. That's generally the way we like to deal with it.
Yep. So
this basically came to life, which I really like because of the detail he put into like his helmet and everything. It looks very festive, like those weird soldiers from foreign countries that have those really festive uniforms. It always takes me to something like that. Right, save this for last because I think this is from Krieg Regiment, right? Their former 88th. They made this especially for us, and we thought it was so considerate and so kind of them to do.
There's the beach armor.
They made us a birthday card. Domi posted it earlier today.
Yeah, the beach theme is because we started on Godscraft with them on War Start. so they were like, it has to be beach theme because we're all going there. Let's see here. Also, there's a little card included, which is extremely nice of them. Have Lisek do a lot of art for and a lot of profile pics. So here's, I do believe it's just a fraction base of the screenshots he did. They're very, very cool.
No, yeah, shit. Some nice like buttons and like just nice little stuff.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our members have been so proud of them, and like displaying them for a long time. They have so much character. I love the character of all of.
I love mine. Fucking love mine. It's like a trace of a you know that one picture of the Krieg commissar like murdering that bishop that's like trying to get away.
Yeah.
Like, it's traced over that. It's so good. But the bishops are colonial.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, they're cringe.
Full disclosure, that Julian doesn't do bayonet talk. Well, not bayonet talk, but tech tree talk. Full disclosure, he's not into the tech tree. It's not his responsibility. Would you like to share anything, Julian, on why the bayonet is not on the top of the tech tree?
I have nothing. I literally I designed it. I drew a knife with a little bayonet handle on it. I handed it off to someone to 3D model, and I have no influence on the tech tree. So sorry.
So there you go, guys.
Yeah.
Little did you know when you were modeling that knife how much it would be worshipped by thousands of people.
Yeah, it's the most important thing in the game.
It certainly is.
So yeah, sorry that I can't answer technical stuff like that.
Nothing to apologize for.
No, like I just got
Now
people
we're
like,
talking.
yeah. let's get to something really fun. I think Stranger has this, right? Stranger, you can give us details about it if you want, because
Is this the tabletop simulator model?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've run like we've run like tabletop like Foxhole-esque games before, using these models and stuff. Not the big walkers, but like the infantry and the APCs and stuff. Absolutely excellent. Really, really good.
Not to that scale, but I do. If I ever get a chance to do it, I do have a design in my head for a large warden walker that I think you'll like, but you won't expect coming at all. But
Awesome.
if Mark wants me to continue designing,
I'm sure I've asked Mark about walkers 1,000,001 times, and the answer has always been no.
they're they're not coming to the main game, but I do want, like I've talked to Mark, I want to have like, maybe we have the Dead Harvest stuff, but who's to say we shouldn't have like a once a year mech war or something like that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
One war that's just, and make it a Foxhole holiday. It doesn't necessarily have to be something for an in-game like Christmas or something like that. It could be like right now, like on the anniversary of the Jade Cove or something like that. You know what I mean? War 19 or whatever.
Yeah. And I consider it, obviously the Halloween event's a Halloween event. It would be like a Halloween episode of The Simpsons where it doesn't really count. It's not really the lore's not, it's just for fun. It's not mechs aren't real in the true canon.
Such a shame, because it would be like it would boost people's interest in the game tenfold. You know what I mean? Like all of the people that are what's that game that strategy game
Iron Harvest.
it turned out to be a bit shit, didn't it? You know,
well,
everybody's clambering for a fucking steampunk walker game. You know what I mean?
I would be down for it. Like if one day, basically, if Mark wanted it, I'd be on board for just designing mech after mech after mech. It's not like
yeah.
But I'll for now I'll abide by my boss's want for the game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think the way that I've described it before in the past is that even if like you don't need to have mechs in every war, but the wars that they are in, they could be like technology that's even after like rockets and stuff, or it's on par with rockets. You know what I mean? And maybe each faction only gets 3 of them or something like that, and take a lot of resources to build them or something like that. And even if you had that, and they only showed up in a very few fractional wars that went on for that long, you could still put them in the artwork for the game, and it would attract so many more people, dude. Just the ability to one day even see one in game would be enough for some people to get it.
Totally.
Sorry on the mic thing, guys. I'll try and be more careful. On my end, it looks okay. I've also put on the screen. You probably saw it when the song played. This is the animation Davian probably was up for 2 nights to make for the song. The drawing is by Dark. I just feel it's such a nice little animation.
Yeah.
So good, man.
A bit of a trivia about it, which I found really interesting, is if you notice the color of the skin of the guardsman is different, sort of, Dar wanted to symbolize the real diversity the clan has, because we're all over the world basically. And for Davian to animate it was hell, because he couldn't just copy paste it. So he actually ended up with multiple rows of guardsmen duplicated, and every time they move, it's just another row moving. It's not them just moving one step forward. So the animation is way bigger and took way more time to render because of it. I don't know if I explained it properly, but I think you might have got the idea, Julian.
Yeah, totally. And I did notice it when the first time when we all listened to the song, which is great. But I did actually notice the skin tone change, which is appreciated, because I know it's super minor in the game, but yeah, just because you can customize it in game, so that's awesome.
That's another thing. Why is it so obscure? You know what I mean? Like nobody knows. Like very, very few people know how to change the color of the character and things like that, or the sex of the character, because it's so obscure the way that you do it. I thought it was down to the fact that I had this sound mod installed, so I uninstalled the sound mod, things like that, and I was like, I couldn't find it, and then somebody told me you go to the barracks in the home region.
I think that has to do, and I'm not entirely sure on this because I'm not dealing with the UI end of the game, but I think that something at one point needed to be revised, and it was like, we know we're going to change this in the future. I think it had to do with the player screen, and where basically I think in the future it's going to be switched back and be made way easier, but I think it just needed a temporary home that was
right.
Yeah, it again, that how you do it became low priority at some point, and it just needed a place to sit while we worked on the
Right.
player screen. So I'm 90% sure that it will be moved in the future. I just don't remember the exact reason why it got stuck in a weird, awkward position.
You can be whatever color you want. You all die for the Callahan the same way.
That's what we figured. You can everybody in this war is dying equally. So
Indeed.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Don, to be honest. We also put together a small, medium segment of memes and screenshots, and I think some old ones you might appreciate. Actually,
all right,
these are
yeah.
Oh my god.
This is
nightmare of
yes, the personal spawn points.
Yeah.
I do believe they were this was marked refugee camp or something like that in
That's
the title.
exactly what this was named.
This was like Rusted at his worst. You know what I mean? When he had access to shit like this, he could just fucking go 3 maps behind the line and just build one of these things with 20 shirts in it and just reap absolute chaos for a full 24 hours.
Yeah, it's really fun to re-see. I honestly, this is like combat prototype, right? Because I know I don't remember it pretty well.
I think this was before I was actually on the team at this point. I know the stories of this, but I don't think I was there yet.
We shared this, to be honest, because this is beyond my time as well.
Oh,
look at those half trucks.
That's even beyond my time. Jesus Christ.
The most wanted return of any vehicle skin in the game is the old German-looking half-track.
Oh,
Clown shoe half-track.
Yep.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it was in front of the formation. Huh.
The shovels, the greatest.
Yeah,
So
Shovel.
ugly looking.
everybody is hoping they return now. on the kid, I think sees.
I
feel like those half tracks are like the feet of a giant titan. You know, like with like from fucking Power Rangers and shit, where they form like that Mega Titan or whatever it is.
I think that was like right at the time I was hired was when that Adam had modeled that. Like I didn't design that, obviously, and I think that was the first vehicle, the first like actual vehicle in the game. But anyways,
Yeah, I
Look
think
at the
this
character
is.
models, Jesus.
Yeah, this was like
Look at the
weekly.
diversity.
All of them were really bad. That was the first community festival. Celebrated devs or something. Everyone, there's supposed to be a war, then we decided without telling the devs, no, we're going to make a festival and surprise the devs, and they were really surprised. It was fun.
These ones made me laugh so much. I mean, I the Gathering Wonders was funny, but the Farnag map made me tear a bit up. Holy pain!
Oh my god!
Holy
please
pain, that
get
map.
that off the screen. I can't take it.
With its like shallow water, massive areas and shit.
I think we lost life expectancy here, Julian. I'm not joking. I think we all lost life expectancy, especially on those landing beaches. Holy Jesus!
I blame Matt for that.
See, this map is like a double-edged sword for me, right? Because I am with you. I'm with you in the pain of this map, okay? But there's also, like, when the colonials owned the group of the archipelago of 4 islands there, like when they were preparing an invasion with the old gunboat, I sank literal fleets of colonial ships with one single gunboat on that map, and I had possibly the most fun I've ever had in Foxhole doing it. It was absolutely amazing. It was so good because the old gunboat was so like easy to fire, and because you could aim behind you and things like that. It was so good.
My two favorite stories of these were when there was that huge barge fleet that Padfoot killed with 3G grenades.
Why do you need to bring it up?
Because it's funny. Back then, the barges, when they would die, they would also damage stuff around them, right?
Yeah.
So it just changed reaction to full fleet.
I remember that was on YouTube for a while. I remember seeing that clip.
That was so funny. Always like people were mad, and I was just like laughing my ass off.
Yeah,
I find it so funny.
You were laughing because who made that? Wasn't it Mist or something?
I don't know, but it was funny. It was Casper. Yeah, I think Casper. He was so mad.
Yeah, Casper.
As a dev, I laughed, but I also felt like really bad.
Yeah.
He spent I think he spent like
hours.
10 hours organizing it or something like that.
And when he got everybody on the boats.
Padfoot of all people as well fucking destroyed it. Of all people, it had to be fucking Padfoot.
With like a few G grenades.
Christ. Oh my god.
And then the second favorite moment was when you take the gunboat in the back of the island where the mountains were, and you destroy the vehicle factory of the colonials on the island, and they would lose all progress on their technology, so they had to start from scrap. It was such a cheesy thing. Oh god. I always wanted to ask about this one, like Drac. What is this even from? I was so confused when I saw it.
This was something that was thrown into the link of everyone to put pictures in, and I don't know what it is. I don't know who posted it.
Photo.
That looks like it's been like transferred into the game somehow,
or just photoshopped together.
Probably.
I think it's from the devs.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's from Fortified, that old game.
Maybe, yeah.
I wasn't around from Fortified because I know at the beginning of this project, a lot of assets from Fortified got used just as stand-ins, and then some stuck
like
around
HMG.
for a while. Yeah,
it's
the glorious HMG.
The fucking HMG.
The yellow box.
It's definitely been photoshopped in. Look at the bush beside the road.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a funny thing to look at.
Yeah, it's still good. I like it.
And I burnt out version of that tank was in the game for a very long time.
There's
and Ward.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send me a video, so I cannot not play it. Like I'm obligated.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
this is a
no.
video. Yeah.
Oh no.
Look at the nothing
Oh.
bad will happen.
Why is there a video of this? I didn't need to.
Nothing bad's gonna happen. Don't worry.
We didn't want those tanks anyway. They've already been replaced.
Yeah, nobody wanted to play with those.
You can see my I was a
Horrific.
barge in a second. Me trying to just desperately get away so it wouldn't chain react. I was not fast enough.
Oh, the old concrete walls that look like they are from like Afghanistan or something.
Oh man,
Bunker
Mate.
walls.
We missed them
Those
so
were
much,
brutal.
Julian. we
those
missed
were
them so
those were so fucking brutal, man.
and
Like,
fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were they were really fun. But like, I mean, once you learned how to attack them, they were pretty easy, to tell you the truth. But like, if you got one of these especially in an elevated position above a road or something like that, fuck me. They were like near. The only thing you could get to destroy them was field artillery. That was literally the only thing.
And we
And
loved
satchels
to
in the
encircle overlook in these on the high ground.
Yeah, like
Oh, man.
5 layers of them.
Can you remember that one? Because can you remember when it was like single map wars? Yeah. I can't remember what map it was on. It was on the one with Mousetrap on it, I think. The map with Mousetrap on it. And we managed to beat the colonials back into their port base, and then we built a tier 3, like these walls, these fucking bunker walls in a entire circumference around their port base, and just Jesus, that was insanity, man. They would like try, like one or two would try and break out, and then we just have a mass artillery bombardment on them or something. Welcome to Colonial Park.
The
Gonna get a couple
thing
out?
on the thing on the bottom right, though, I think that's someone just accidentally put all those blueprints there. I don't know why they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
pure accidental. Yeah.
Yep. What's
Would-
hurting together this graph at all?
Wouldn't imagine what that would help them with. Also, I just believe these are like early. I know it's some logic in C is just like building liquid nightmares over here.
There's so much barbed wire.
Oh, Ivan's there.
Oh no. This is actually a pretty old one of Warrior with. He would like to, there's a huge history of lining up and stuff like this, so it's sort of included. Also, old truck.
Yeah, look at that glorious warden truck.
Wow.
Also, that's the reason why Warrior was always an hour late when you told him to do something. Like, holy fuck.
Don't bully
Go
Warrior.
kill the or no, it took him fucking 2 hours.
Don't
I
bully Warrior.
mean, I
No,
don't
I
know
know.
about the factory that makes these trucks, but the fabric provider needs to have a word with, because the fabric is just not good enough.
Colonial skin.
They're speed holes. They make it go fast.
I had always heard it was because of the ferocity of the moths in the Morden regions.
What? Giant moths?
Yes.
Oh no.
Just the gigantic outside ones.
Giant enemy moth.
I'm sorry, I could not help myself. This is probably one of the oldest colonial tier sort of meme. We found it like eons ago. And it was like, look, the first reference of it. let's put it in. And then Max, when he did that, when that's 68. Mate, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if anybody ever told him. Literally, there were like people running around like in movies, like yelling, KFC said he wants the colonials to do that. Just mobilized everybody who stopped playing to start playing instantly. Oh my god, it was a
He couldn't have done us
crazy
a
time.
bigger favor.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
really couldn't have done us a bigger favor.
I think we never thanked them properly. I think that's on us. And then this is, because we talked when we first passed through it. This is where an actual base comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
You would have lodge officers. It would be funny because they would like lurk around, and if you wouldn't, they'd be like, what are you looking for? Why are you going close to that tent? What do you want from there?
Yeah, you have quartermasters just. Oh man.
If
Good
they're actually,
times.
they were just stand there. They wouldn't kill you or anything. They'd just be staring at you menacingly.
Look at
No,
the.
even as a dev, one time when I was playing, I got yelled at by someone, like by a quartermaster, and I wasn't doing that. I was just looking around. But I've suffered the fate of being yelled at by a QM.
Did you look at
Hey.
the wrong tent? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Get out of there.
I was,
It's not for
I was
you.
too close to his collection of blue boxes for his liking.
Oh god.
God, Quartermaster.
Look at the
cancer.
old over encumbered symbol as well. Oh,
Oh yeah.
I kind of miss that symbol. Gonna lie.
kind of do as well. Yeah.
Has his own unique,
He's not
charm.
encumbered. He's just slightly heavy. It's only yellow, orange.
I always find this funny because DRs were basically partisans back when partisaning was actually rewarding. I'm sorry, it's not anymore, or not as rewarding as it was before. So they ended up building, and they went for visuals 10 out of 10, but actual proficiency in the line of duty was like, this would not kill anybody.
The visuals is all that matters, right?
True. Like the sandbag castles we built back a few updates ago, you can attest to that. What is that abominations they've been saying?
This could also be titled, Who did your CE training again?
Everybody retraining, go. Old map if you guys missed it. With
Oh, I pulled endless.
I mean, it's not 11th Maginot line, but it's a lot of work. Kind of missed the old aesthetic of them.
It was not pure foxholes.
I think it was like just a stupid line of defenses just because. Oh, even Dark is here now.
I'm
Also,
here.
Joffrey sneaked his way in here.
Joffrey!
I
Everybody's joining.
I rushed from fucking almost beating traffic. Did pick me up a drink on the way, but I am here. Where are we at?
Well, sort of approaching the end of our collage here, and
Awesome. Thanks for waiting for me, by the way.
no problem, anytime.
No worries.
2 hours
no worries,
late.
dude.
These are like the LTs, but I don't know exactly the era. We just find it funny because it's if you look at the minimap, which is obstructed. I'm sorry, but it's a port base, and we were like all like, port bases, those things you could not, well, technically could not go into.
I always remember there was a YouTube video. I think it's called "Attack on Old Ismuth" or something like that, and it's about me and a group of guys attacking a colonial port base back in the day, and I'll go back and watch it from time to time just for laughs of how it was back then. That was quite entertaining.
Did you ever camp anybody or get camped in a port base, Julian? No, I was curious about you. We did it all the time.
I was not camped in one, but all I can add to this is that Mark always hated port base. It was like port bases where they were a necessary evil at one point, and he just could not wait to get them out of the game.
I remember
Like,
one
right.
time the collies blew up.
One sec, I think Joffrey managed to sleep from work. Joffrey, can you hear us, mate?
Yes, can you hear me?
Well, in your unique style, we can. Are you on the front line? Because like,
it sounds like you're on the front line.
I am on the. You're right. Actually, no, I'm not at work. I'm actually at.
When I said work, I meant obviously you're corresponding from the front line to us.
Tell us what's the status on Shard 2?
It's hectic. Everyone, I think, is adopting the 82 DK style. Everyone's wearing masks out here, which is actually probably kind of good.
It's really nice to hear you, Joffrey, especially today. I'm really happy you could pop in.
Yeah, really popping in. We'll see how long I can last. I am still at work. Don't tell my work, but I'm still at work, and we'll see. But I at the very least, I'll stay in the conversation. But at the very least, I just want to congratulate 82 DK on behalf of the press bar and myself, of course, for not only being one of Foxhole's longest running regiments continuously, but also just for being such a mainstay among the warden factions. I'm always happy to see regiments stick stick to a faction for a long time and really build something up. Doesn't mean that they can't switch. In fact, I kind of encourage players to switch, as I always say, just to get a feel for that different kind of game. But very, very happy to see 82DK still here and for the many, many years to come.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Yep.
Razor, your mic's gone again, dude. He's
I
fixing it,
remember-
guys. Don't worry.
I remember one thing with the port bases, and we would stack up. I remember this is back when we had Howies that could like load up 100 shells.
Mother of
And
God, yeah.
we would just have like five Howies just ready to just rain hell on the nearest life sign that would pop out of that port base, and it would just be like a whole like 5 shells going in, nothing's alive.
See, I always remember when port bases came out, the port bases weren't going to be a thing anymore, and everyone was like, you know, how is the game going to be the same? You know, there's a lot of people were saying port bases, you know, they should always be in the game. They were panicking and stuff like that. But I like looking back now, I can't imagine the game having port bases in it again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it. I think it would be hard to put them in now. With the current game, because they're absolutely terrible looking back at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. No, it's a totally. The game has changed.
Oh, considerably, yeah.
And the population.
For what it was worth, they served the role that they needed to serve, and that was like the only benefit they have going for them. I mean, we all knew even when they first released port bases that they said it pretty loud. This is gonna be temporarily. Port bases they're not here to stay. So that's one thing I would have encouraged like 10 times more to do things with the intent of just a placeholder for now, and then
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how problems that were such a hot button issue years ago just don't even register anymore, because they've either been redone completely or been fixed or just designed out of the game entirely. Like, remember when like the map was too big?
Yeah.
That's what people were saying. Like, the map's too big. There's too much empty space. Now we can't even be bothered to. It's 23 regions. That's it. That's like a pocket.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah. Let me show off something real quick, because Akira sent in something off of more of a magic light they did back in the day on Callahan. This looks pretty sick. Oh my god, the amount of fucking tier 3 fobs is nutsy.
Jesus Christ, what does that say? 11th.
Yeah, it's their
11th in fobs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Was probably the first of many good / bad things written in fobs.
Oh yeah.
So we could have a stream only on like what people wrote with fobs, to be honest.
Some of them, are like, obviously they're the same brutal things, but like they're depicting things that you don't want to depict. But like the effort that must go into some of them are absolutely insane. Like hours and hours and hours of work to create some of the things that people have created in them.
And it does come and delete it all.
I mean, I still wonder how the fob was able to be constructed and not spotted outright. Because it had to take them at least maybe one full day, and that's giving it one full day of just getting the BMATs, CVing, and then just getting everything intellectually placed and built.
I think there's some more aesthetic shots. Oh, the old HMG, Julian.
The glorious, the best looking model in the game.
I bet I bet you're like so eager to get that thing out of it, weren't you?
It was a nice day to get to replace it.
You know, it's not something that, I mean, you might be surprised by this. It's not something that I ever really noticed when it was in the game. But like looking back at that compared to what we've got now, it's like holy shit.
That's the thing. Yeah, it didn't necessarily stick out, but it was still ugly as fuck.
Yeah, it's a yellow block with a pipe sticking out of it.
Now a very beautiful looking Malone.
Malone is best MG.
A melon.
I like it. Ooh, back. Yep.
Huge and just ranting and ranting. So if you get tired, or if you just let us, because like we were like just gonna rant in your head a lot.
No, it's okay. I'll have to leave by at least 6 o'clock. Nope.
You muted Reza.
Well, it looks on my screen okay. Okay, I'll it's probably a problem, sorry. I'll try and figure it out on my end. Yeah, so you just tell us when to stop and we'll stop for air.
That's cool.
I think this is probably around more recent. Well, not very recent because I can see the jerry cans on the. How was that declutter? I wonder, Julian, because back in the day where everything went on the floor.
Yeah, that was I don't actually know like Mark, obviously we made everything drop into boxes to save on the to help save the servers and keep things going a bit smoother. I don't know if we would have if the servers weren't an issue, as there might still be clutter everywhere in the game. But it definitely saved Adam a lot of time for making like the individual there were drop assets. So like the stuff that was actually on the ground was a different asset than what you were holding in your hand. And it was all just way too much stuff.
I mean, I think it definitely looked cooler with all of the scattered gear all over the place. But I'm glad that it actually changed from a gameplay point of view, because it's not just about it saving server space and stuff like that. It's actually easier now, because back in the day, if you wanted to go up to a corpse of a colonial, for instance, who just like he had an RPG on him or something like that, but he might have a myriad of other things on him as well, like pistols and all that shite and gas mask and radio, and you would press E and you'd pick all that shit up first. You know what I mean? But now you can run over to the box and you can select what you want from out of the pile a lot easier than you used to be able to. So, like now, even if the servers could handle it, I still wouldn't want it to return to the way it was, even though it looked cooler. Just because it's far easier from a gameplay point of view now to pick up items.
We visually did a bunch of mock-up, like Photoshop screenshots, mock-ups of different ways that stuff might fall on the ground. Like there was some like Diablo style, like the items kind of explode everywhere and pop all around so that they don't land in a single pile. But then it wouldn't feel World War II. It would just
it wouldn't.
It would feel like a weird cartoon video game thing. And yeah, just Mark, the decision was basically made for the servers in the end.
Yeah,
and
I think
I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, it's definitely the right decision looking back.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think this is a festival picture from what I remember from the second one.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't stand that close to colonials normally, would we?
I do like the. Sadly, Casper isn't here. I bet he would be very, very proud of this one. I do like the FA line. Not gonna lie, we miss this FA a lot, especially the AP one, even if it's a huge meme.
Yeah, the sniper field artillery.
Yeah, like Dark cries in his sleep still because he doesn't have that. Don't you, Dark?
Well, I mean, the new artillery is still pleasing to me, so I'm 100%. It's made my job 100% easier. So,
the trade-off was
the trade-off has
what's it called? The trade-off was the no man's land destruction stuff, and we
Mm.
wanted you not to be able to snipe at the same time. So
I mean, something that the no man's land has done, which is kind of unexpected. Well, at least from my point of view, like I didn't expect it to be as widespread as it is later in wars and stuff like that. Some of these no man's land zones can be massive, absolutely colossal, and they can be dotted with craters throughout the entire thing. And we've actually had to start training our infantry in a new biome, which is like really, really refreshing and good for us. It's something that I brought up at an officer meeting recently, that like we're actually having to train our infantry how to move through a new biome and things like between craters. And it's actually like our frag grenades have been absolutely useless ever since the the pineapple grenade compared to the colonial stick grenade. Now the colonial stick grenade wounds ours kills, but with the lack of range, it's always been hard to deploy it effectively. But in this new biome, you can quite easily lob a pineapple grenade into the next crater, and it's going to almost always clear it out. You know what I mean? Whereas the stick grenades are lacking in that new biome. So I'm really glad that the new biome's given a place for our grenades to actually be effective.
awesome.
Right, keeping it moving. The original in Chad, basically, what's it called? Fight clubs. These are the only ones I like, to be honest, because it was like chaos and mayhem.
The whole posse on one side, elects their champion on the other.
It's like football, just like, you know what I mean, like 20v20, everybody goes, everything goes. I know, I feel like these are the only ones I really liked. They were so fun, just because it was a general brawl.
Also, it's an all-out slaughter. The aftermath was just so many corpses and blood on the ground.
It just feels like 5 seconds before they start crouching and just flicking or snapping their fingers. Just
That the old salmon-colored blood. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, man. Yeah.
Strawberry jam just kept falling everywhere.
There was some kind of conspiracy behind that, if I remember correctly. Like it was colored like that for the Chinese market or something like that because they don't like blood in their games or something. I don't know.
It was not, for the record. That was not.
No,
there
obviously it wasn't.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't, but like there was a rumor back in the day.
You know, I just remember something. I remember Mark and Matt and HP talking about it ages ago. They really wanted to add the gore in the game. What happened to that, I wonder?
To be honest, I don't know. I think that has just kind of fallen aside. But to have like gibs and like getting blown up and stuff be like really gory, that I literally have no recollection of why that never like kind of came to be.
Probably
was
be
like
too
3
much of a
years ago.
strain.
It was ages ago.
Yeah.
It would be cool to just see a bunch of rips just get ripped apart by a grenade or something.
Yeah, when he gets shot by a fucking 40 mil, I expect there'd just be splatter.
Are you sure you don't like the ragdoll body catapulting up towards your camera?
That's also funny.
That's
also
pretty
funny.
That's pretty great.
I will say it's funny. It is funny, but there's something about like when you get shot by a tank, I want to be turned to like pink mist. You know what I mean?
It makes that like it would be more engaged or more like put you more in that like this is hell, this is war.
Yeah, totally.
Rather that if I get hit by 250, I just want to disappear. Nothing left. It's just poof.
Yeah.
Nothing there. Nothing in the backpack. It just disappears.
Yeah, here's more of that jam you love, guys.
It's glistening against the sunlight.
Sadly,
The blood is so shiny.
It's a picture from me though, but I didn't get aftermath because I died. Like I was one of the first people that got fucking swarmed. Holy hell! So I ran the first like an idiot.
This is Logi in mechanized vehicles. Drag pointed it out and we were like, okay, we'll put it in. Yeah, they have a half truck. Even Klaus driving, it's like he kills like 20 friendlies and 50 enemies with the truck. Imagine what he can do with the half truck. You know what I mean? Just because he's delivering some rifle somewhere. So we thought it would be a nice shout out.
Klaus did teach me how to drive because like now. There's no stopping on the road for me. No stopping. If you're on the road, then you need to learn to stay off the road, don't you? And the only way you're going to learn is beneath the treads of my tires.
This screenshot just reminded me of the old driving system, like the old
Yeah.
like car driving.
We were looking at all the recordings and we would see how the jeeps would move, and we were probably like, it looks so weird now. It looks like it's like floating or something.
I have to point out this comment: non-essential speed bumps. Oh, I'm gonna use that, man. That's so fucking good.
I'm pretty sure they cut off the brakes of Logi drivers once they get in the truck. So
No, it's uninstalled.
Yeah.
They just stop in the fobs. That's the stop point.
It's the only way Klaus and I want to get new potential Logi members to just not hold up the logistics system. Just don't break. Keep going forward.
Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be from Castle Clapfoot, which was extremely fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
I remember that one.
I
remember that.
The colonials got us. You remember the colonials got us in the pickle, and then we pushed over the bridge with bayonets.
I remember what happened there. Is I came late, and you were like, "No, it's full, blah blah blah," and you were losing like fuck, getting absolutely smashed by the devs and Evie and shit like that.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then
was
we're
the
like,
dev team.
"Oh, one guy has to go. Do you want to come in?" I was like, "Yep, no bother, guys." As HE's arrived to the fob for the first time, so I was just like, "Right, everybody get HE and go into the city," and we just managed to push and take it. And I took all the glory, but it was actually down to Logi taking the HEs and bringing them to the fob.
I think this one is the one with the BT, but it's still a cool story.
No, I remember
There was
being on
two.
the dev team for this shit. And
We were on the dev team for the
Bar
BT
Company.
one. We were protecting the BT.
I was there was a time where it was DK versus the devs. You remember that one?
Yeah, I know that one as well, but the screenshot is from the one with the when we were with the dev team.
When we were protecting the BT.
Yeah, and
right, yeah.
They got them cornered, but then we just rushed over the bridge with 20 people.
Yep.
The devs were really trying to get the BT killed. We had to like proper so, you know that meme of that guy sweating and smashing his keyboard. Like we were all, that's what we were all doing.
I remembered. I was parched up. I was one of the first people. I had the eyes on the mortar house, and I was just there, fucking sweating and sloshing, throwing out mortars the whole way through. Like there was even colonial tanks trying to get the mortar house down.
Barrels just running cherry red.
This one was pretty funny. I think this is related to when satchels were permitted in the caches, Julian.
Yeah.
We speedrun that war. We had so many satchels.
Oh my god, yeah, the caches. Jesus.
Oh my god, that war that ended in like 2 days.
It was 52 hours was the mark.
I remember Aldalur just opened like 10 of them and said, "DK, you guys are up."
I was gonna stop us because the best is supposed to in the game.
I've never seen this edit.
Yeah, I was surprised by it as well. But it was pretty funny because
you know what though? You know what? In a serious note, I'm glad we actually did that to show them how bad of an idea it fucking.
It wasn't a bad idea. It was just easy to abuse, exploit, I guess, sort of a thing. The idea was cool. I loved the idea, but
yeah, but doesn't that by definition make it a bad idea?
Yeah.
Can I just ask one thing, Julian? You see, what's that on the back of the flatbed?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It's all right.
I think the field artillery that war the model was swapped, but I already painted it as that one. And I was like, I'm not gonna change it.
All right.
Bastard.
I can respect that.
They like cry in secret, all of them.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites, at least. You can see we're very disciplined by the jam on the floor. Somebody was like, so we're all nice and tidy now.
I'm sure there was a massacre, and we literally had to wait for all of the bodies and backpacks to disappear to take.
Also, there was a tier 3 fob. You know, the people would put a tier 3 fob over here, And in the current patch, you know how many satchels a tier 3 fob would take, Julian?
No.
Around 60.
Yeah,
We
'cause
spent
you
half
can't
an
just kill
hour.
it. You gotta wait for the husk. You gotta kill the husk too.
We spent half an hour trying to despawn it. It was so funny. Oh
Just all these
god.
satchels going off. Like 10 satchels a second.
I'm still salty. I don't remember where the video is of that. I'll find it one day.
I think the next faction specific utility tool just needs to be a mop
That would be awesome.
on the floor.
That would be funny. Ah, this is like I was hoping we get to this part. So
Oh my God.
if you remember that harvest, the one where KFC said no rules,
Yeah.
you remember? Well, we had an interpretation on his no rules thing, so we decided to do a feed pile. There's even a video on this on YouTube, and we're having
Bring the
this
meat back to the market.
yells
Bring the
that
meat back to the market.
repeatedly because we were just bringing new people in so other people can level up on them, and we literally got like a quarter of the clan with the level 3 ones, half of the clan with the level 2 ones, and the rest were level 1s, and we just
Oh, I was gonna say that's awesome because I'd actually pitched that idea when we were coming, like, because we take like a week to do the Dead Harvest stuff, and I remember during the pitch was that the zombies, they like you level up from killing, you level up from whatever, but that you should be able to carry them, and you have to carry them back to your spawn point to level up, and just I'm glad that you guys actually like did that naturally.
yeah, somehow you telepathically transmitted it to us because we took care. The fob is right there, you can see it.
We still have a video on it that's quite entertaining to watch if you get a spare moment. So find that on
Yeah,
find that on our
Rodgard.
channel. It's quite it's called the Rock Guard,
Yeah.
and we like swarm over an entire colonial town. There's like a couple of builders there. I think it wasn't a very
Poor
popular
guys.
war, if I remember correctly. But they just saw this war. It was like that episode of Game of Thrones. You know where all there's a wall of zombies coming at once.
It was pretty fun, especially the fast one, which just zoom around so fast.
So I remember sadly the tier 3 zombies were really weak for no reason. Just died
Underwhelming.
easily.
Underwhelming, yeah.
I have some glitch or something that fucked their health.
We
something.
did bully a few ACs with them,
Yeah.
so that was fun because they couldn't get run over.
It's like anything on Foxhole though that we've proved really. I mean, a pistol's overwhelming, but you know when you've got 80 of them shooting at you, it's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, Strange just mentioning the colleagues are so salty about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big boy mechs. Yeah, we cry over them every day. Like Avitus has like.
Why are these not added in Relic Wars? Why are they not here? Why do we get these shitty storm tanks no one likes anymore? We want these.
Is that a shy turret peeking out there at the bottom?
Yes, it is. It's a shy box.
Oh, the shy box. They were awesome.
God, I miss it.
I want a sword that can wave from top of a tank.
I'll say more melee weapons, though not currently being worked on or planned. Like it's not something we've ever said. It's not something we've ever said no to or shot down.
Oh, please, you've got to argue for that, dude. When melee weapons come around the table, you've got to argue for them.
We have to figure out how to not make it the default weapon in the game, if that makes sense. Like if the game
totally makes
turns
sense.
into a medieval sword fight simulator, then we've wrecked Foxhole. So
I mean, it's quite common at the moment. It's quite
Yeah.
common at the moment for one guy to like run across a bridge and just massacre a bunch of people just by running around.
Yep.
Just by running around, jumping into trucks, running them over, jumping out, blah blah blah. So give that guy a sword. Jesus Christ, it's not going to be a good time.
If
Let us fucking snatch from or kill a person.
if we do melee weapons in the future. I'm doubt like the shovel has to be included. Like it has to.
Oh, you don't know what
have
you're
to be
saying.
able to hit someone with it. So.
You don't know what you're saying to us, dude.
I'm an old
I
man.
do.
My heart can't take this.
Yeah, don't even joke with
Oof.
That's close to home, dude. Very close to home.
Damn boomers.
And there's the vault opening.
Yeah, the glorious vaults.
it. Yeah.
I kind of like these things.
Yeah?
I don't know. I thought they were pretty cool. Especially that one war where we like went to the enemy one, like deep behind their lines, and, like
Yeah.
built motorboats right at the start of the war, like went down the river and like nicked all of their shit and put it on motorboats and drove off.
It was a combination of a lore thing that Matt wanted to do, mixed with trying to find just being experimental with like the relic stuff. And I haven't been part of the conversations around it, but I don't think we've talked about the relic bunkers for like a long time. But
Yeah.
they're not being taken out of the game, and they'll find their final place in the game at some point. But I like them.
It's where you will make mechs.
I always wanted more internal areas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like an idea that I've always pitched is like when you go and like say you're going up against a tier 3 town hall, like to take the tier 3 town hall or destroy the tier 3 town hall completely, you might have to like go inside it and fight inside it, and it might be quite a large building. You know what I mean? Instead of what it is, it's
Instead
quite
of the weird little like cartoon box that it is right now.
Yeah. So like maybe it could take up quite a sizable portion of the town, and fighting internally to take a flag or something like that in the center to convert to your faction. I always thought that would be a more engaging way of taking towns rather than just blowing up the center building.
No, internally, every now and again, talk does come up that it's at this point one of the oldest assets that's still in the game, the town hall. So we'll definitely do something with it.
Yeah, that'd be cool, dude. You know that little fort in God, what's it called? Near the Blemish, south of the Blemish. There's like a little fort on top of a hill, like something like that in the center of a town would be fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Just like a little fort that you could go inside and protect and stuff as a last stand. That would be sick.
I mean, for Viper saw a bit of action. Speaking of relics and stuff, here are the
glorious relic tank.
Yeah, we loved them so much, especially in the beginning when they were so OP and you could just make a line of them. Oh god, that was fun.
Can you remember when they first came out though, and we took I think 4 of them up against a battle tank, and we did the flanks formation where we were like shoulder to shoulder with them, so the front armor was like, universal across the front of the tanks. But like the battle tank turret just turned around, didn't matter about our fucking like massive front armor. It just cut the tank in half with one shell. We were like, shit.
It's still
75 millimeter AP is scary.
Yep. No, sorry, this thing's still one of my favorite. I love the model. I love how it came out. I love that it's this weird little rusted, like World War I looking thing.
Yeah, I mean now that they're after their initial, because they got fixed pretty quickly if memory serves. And after that they were fucking sick. It's their fire rate, if I remember correctly, that's like the main draw.
Nuts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I cannot ignore this from Iwan. He says during the operation you see on screen, we had a member ask him if he could leave because his house caught on fire, but he felt bad to leave without telling Iwan.
Was he in his house when it was on? Like,
Iwan, please clarify, mate, because we're worried even now. Even after so long, we're worried. Jesus. Ah, the little tractor. Yeah, apparently he was in the house.
Yeah,
the flames are licking my ankles, but these colonials must die. That's true. That's commitment right there.
I ended up calling that thing the armored fighting tractor because I had to look up what tanks were called before they were called tanks. Like if there was any terminology, and I just found a whole bunch of reference for like armored tractors. And
that's because the fucking Germans were trying to secretly make tanks, so they call them tractors.
Yeah, so that's why
I
it's
always
a tractor instead of an armored car or something.
I always thought it was because they used wasn't it like tractor engines or something, or based on tractor engines? I don't know.
Probably.
That's where I thought anyway.
Probably. Like I don't doubt that.
There was a tank made in Australia, and I'm sure it was like.
Boss Simple.
Yeah, it was like
New Zealand, actually.
It was like the worst tank ever made, or something like that. And I'm sure it was just like a fucking tractor with like fucking sheet metal on the side or something.
Yeah, it's a tank from New Zealand. It's literal sheet metal.
Australia had one good tank that never got used in World War II. Like there was one, I forget what the hell it's called, but there was one. But then no one wanted to buy it because it was took too far to ship it. So yeah, but there was something that Australia made that was half decent.
I mean, I think what a lot of those countries had a problem with, because they developed a lot. Like even the Japanese had some really good tanks in development towards the end of the war, but like the Japanese never got a chance to use them. And like countries like Australia, they might have developed a tank, but by then you've gotten like Sherman Fireflies. You know what I mean? It's like, what you're gonna do to beat something like that?
I know.
My favorite thing with the tractors was running around with Aaron, and he would play Combine Harvester, that popular UK song. that was my favorite thing to do. It was so fun.
Oh, with the tractor, I remember one time where I was so fucking disappointed in my squad that happened. There's a video of someone, actually, it's a video from a call he recorded like 10 people of my guys. Everyone missed a stick in a tractor. And there's a video of it that the media's going, how the fuck do you miss all of it? All 10 people.
We couldn't miss a rocket launch because rocket launches are cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I remember I had a big page of variations of this rocket. There was like stuff that looked more like kind of more intercontinental missile looking stuff. And I know that wasn't era appropriate. But I remember I was like, God, everybody at work kept calling them missiles. And I was like, missiles weren't a thing. Missiles weren't invented then. And there was a period of time where this thing wasn't going to be a nuke. Like it wasn't going to have that nuclear effect, but just be a really big ass missile. Really big ass rocket. But I don't know. There was quite a lot of discussion about the development of this thing. And it went through a lot. But I'm happy with how it is.
Yeah, I love the rockets. I think they're awesome. The only thing I would say about the rockets that could possibly be improved on them is like give them faction specific color schemes or some like design alteration or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I think currently Mark has been interested in removing the components, the warhead and rocket booster, from being a backpack object. He's just like, it's so stupid. That the last thing I talked with him about it, so stupid that
it would be nice to have it like on a flatbed or something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that
totally.
Would be cool.
I agree with the faction specific paint jobs and stuff would be badass.
Just on the side of it, from Callahan with love. You know what I mean?
Oh, this picture.
Yeah, this was a mess in front of
Hermit's Rest. I was there the other day, and it looked like this, dude. I'm fucking telling you, I was there the other day, and it looked like this. Remove those walls. Well, actually, it's more of a colonial city, so fucking keep them.
Is that when we sent Sam the Hermit's Rest postcard?
Yes.
When you were here?
Yes. Because like they didn't come to defend it, and everybody was upset. Because normally, traditionally, they have to come to defend it, and we were like, no, Sam, this is depressing. Let's do something nice for them. I think there's
It's so silly how half of the vehicles in that picture are colonial.
Well,
the ones that are being flipped by a bicycle.
We would collect them. We would collect them as we go.
We had an entire op, a couple of was it before the update, I think, where we had literally an op that we had maybe 10 tanks involved that were all colonial.
It was mentioned. Yeah, we gave HOC like 6, and then we had like our own 6.
Doesn't this screenshot look weird that now that all the vehicles are in pristine, like
yeah.
It's like what's going on? Like, did they have like a garage next to them?
Yeah.
None of this going around anymore. this is random victory screen. I remember it. It was like I1 came with that FMG all the way from, I don't know, some weird warden town, and he just like crawled it meter by meter until he got here. It was pretty funny. It survived like a stupid amount of time. Oh, from Tempest, right? Because we pushed from Tempest through all the maps until we got to Hermit's Rest in one operation. And we ended the war. It was an incredible time, not gonna lie.
Look at that beautiful walker. Doesn't even look out of place in the back there.
The colonial and the fucking gun pointing eraser.
Well,
There's two colonials because there's one kneeling in front of the half track.
it's like where's Waldo? You know, it's like
It's not kneeling to surrender mode.
I'm just testing your reflexes. See if you notice.
I think I1 said he went through 800 belts of ammo in that EMG, carrying it from, because we did a quadruple naval landing at Tempest, and then he just burnt his way all the way around with one crane and one gun, just repairing it and moving it, repairing it and moving it.
That was hilarious. This was we had a bit of a execution over here on the gallows.
Oh.
It was a really fun time with everybody. Fort
Still haven't
Viper.
forgotten that Fancy has escaped execution every time.
He's on the death list. Fort Viper is such a nice RP location. I personally love it.
The plans are big and they are coming. Don't worry about that.
Visually, I still really the flatbed. I like it. I don't know. It's one of my favorite. Like it's simple. It looks old. It looks kind of like a train, which was crucial to all Logi vehicles have a little bit of train in them, except for like the faction trucks. But and yeah, I don't know. I still love it.
Yeah, the feel around them is always nice, and it's a good solution to the towing problem that has been, forever referenced.
I'm on the. I wish we could do it. Like
I bet, yeah.
I think it was a good compromise to put these vehicles in the game, though.
Yeah,
definitely a good compromise. Because before you could load pushables onto the back of vehicles, it made a pretty useless thing already more useless. You know what I mean? So they never got used at all. But now now pushables are like a mainstay. I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah. Look
But
at
it's like
nice calming weather we're all looking at now.
There you can see the bus we used to ferry over the fucking frozen river.
Yeah, this is basically what we were referencing earlier on the tier 3 tier 3 storm. Let's just randomly charge over over the lake at Lockheed and try and take Lockheed from Colonial.
If memory serves, we actually got quite far into the town, destroyed the safe house and stuff like that. I think we just ran out of steam, didn't we?
This was that op.
But we didn't really have many options thanks to queues, and we had to try it once to see if we could do it. And turns out even the snow will stop. The snow will stop even us.
Yeah, this was real crucial. And as far as like the planning going into this operation, we knew going into it was going to be scuffed. I think we even alerted the members like we are going into this with the planning to fail. So please don't get disheartened or anything. And like when people logged into the region and just saw like white clouds all over their border, they knew what they were getting to. People had to like call taxi drivers from Logi just to get from the local spawn zone, just so that way they don't freeze to death on their way back. And then the funny thing, speaking of freezing, so I had all my guys doing, and we had like 3 150 artillery guns, and they were entrenched so that way they could be nice and warm. And we had a bunker base about 25 feet away, so they would have to go all the way to the bunker base, pull a shell, and come all the way back. So there's a point where we were shelling consistently, about going in 100 shells in, and then suddenly the artillery stops firing, and I'm like, boys, what are you doing? Why are we stopping? And I stopped looking at the binos, and I just see like 3 people dead on the ground, frozen.
Frozen to the guns, just like standing up, just with the hand on the gun, like the pause, just
No,
frozen solid.
they were frozen from going and pulling the shell, and then going back to the trench. They froze in the mid path carrying the shell.
Jesus Christ!
That's
and
awesome.
they died honorably.
God, I love that mechanic. Love it.
So it's gonna be a trench connecting to the bunker faces, so you can just run in the trench and pull.
We had a member in CE post a video of him building a watchtower, and just as he finished it, he froze to death.
That's pretty brutal.
Pain.
due
One
to
there.
due to like probably 10 people messaging me about it, I'll show you a short clip that everybody wants to watch. So it's 11.
You cut off the racer. It's not audio racer.
What?
Video is so glitched.
Well, it's glitched because the clip is glitched.
Oh.
I can try and play it again, but I don't know if it's gonna be better. Sorry.
It's already better.
It's just like something glitchy with it. Sorry. I think it's, I don't know why. Yeah, I think it's that's how I downloaded it or something. But you guys got the idea. Sorry, everybody was going nuts. Everybody was DMing me about it. So
A good video.
yeah, it's
Starts with a
it's a
single
proud
warden, and he
moment.
turns the corner and goes, "Oh no, that's 50 of them."
Okay, it's 6 o'clock, so I'll leave you guys with like congrats on the 5 years. That's epic, and like being a gigantic clan, like that's friggin' awesome. And yeah, just congratulations on all this. It was really fun.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for
Julian.
making the time.
All right,
Yeah. Catch you later,
See you
dude.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
So we're pretty close to the end here, so I think we can soldier through. Really nice, and I cannot thank Julian enough for like not only making time for it, but like sitting here with almost 3 hours with us.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Can't thank him enough. I think it meant a lot to us to get that much attention from him. I know it's our birthday, but I feel like we're getting spoiled already. Okay. Going into Ducks Doodles and Carson's stealing all of the enemy's vehicles.
At some point, I started calling him my personal shopper because he would just ask me, "Drac, what do you want me to go steal?" And I'd just give him a list.
Yeah, it was really funny. I also always liked that duck doodle from Dark. It looks so funny.
Oh yes.
That was titled "No Means No" when I added it to the folder, so I don't know.
Well, it is ducks we're talking about, so
Half the things labeled are like super. I don't even know what I was thinking.
I think it was just the ducks always saying no to tanks or something. I don't know. Who knows?
I always love the Silverhand meme. It always grow on me.
I fear no tank, but the thing, it scares me.
So what about now? Does that still hold up?
Not even close, man. I mean, as long as it can close the distance, the Silverhand is just gonna annihilate it.
Another classic doodle of ducks carrying something explosive, charging you.
It's tradition at this point.
Ducks and explosives. Name a better convo.
If this stream has highlighted one thing, that we
Oh my
have
fucking
far too much fucking duck influenced art. In the clan. Like literally every fucking picture, there's a fucking duck in a little basket on the side or something. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck's sake.
That's funny.
I enjoy that. I understand that this picture is, it's got them in, but at least they're in chains.
Enslavement of Tempestus for that op.
That's fine.
Good thing is you like it. Okay, leaves alone.
Oh, fuck's sake. I always have to spoil it.
That's why they're all blushing. They're very happy.
I think that one on the end likes it a little bit too much.
This one from
That's interest, of course.
this one from Zach is probably my favorite out of the meme ones. It's so true though. I think probably Joffrey can attest, especially on his back when Zach would live in the ski resort in Callahan's. I know even like Prescott had stories about Zach QRFing tanks with the storm cannon and whatnot.
That was Zach and I QRFing Somme light tanks that came into Callahan's Passage.
There's even a video of it, and they're so confused. Like, what's that firing at us?
Yeah.
Well, they thought it was one cannon.
Either the 128th or Zach, for specifically, trying to hit us either with regular howitzers or I think that was before the artillery reward. Now it's storm cannon. Honestly, it's quite impressive. I haven't used it once when.
Is he breaking up?
He's breaking up.
I think you're having a bit of a connection issue there, Jeffrey. Probably the internet is not as stable. We got most of it until.
Are you with Razor?
No, my PC is not with Joffrey. I think Joffrey is with his phone. I'm with my PC who acts up.
We lost him.
Ah, fuck. Oh.
See the line bugs.
In the video, from Som's perspective, they get really confused because they kept moving and we'd shoot at them some more. And at one point you hear one of their leaders, Hets, say, "Don't worry, they can't shoot at us again." And of course, right as another shell lands, because we had 3 storm cannons with nothing left to shoot at, so we're gonna QRF with them. So
I kept the best for the end.
Fucking hell, this meeting. Most classic meeting.
Well, Dark drew it, so I guess he gets to tell, explain, because it's a very complex.
So it all started with, I think, just Evie showing himself in VR. Correct me if I'm wrong, feel free to pitch in. And then it led into a assortment of everyone else turning on their cameras.
No, it started with HCOM showing himself. Then eventually in the pre-version I went to do it, but I, being smart man as well, refused to do face cam, and just went, oh fuck it, VR. Here you go.
And he showed us his succulent VR avatar and proceeded to pose for the whole officer meeting that everyone else joined Sue and was just remembering everyone's specifics. I just doodled everything that I saw.
we had so many. I mean, Kaz got on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jesus, the amount of people that we had. It was a very cursed meeting.
I still love Goldie though. Goldie, the room was so dark.
I thought Zaz was a Ganjali, but then I realised Canada.
His unmade bed. I bet Zar's bed is currently unmade.
Permanent status is unmade.
I still enjoy Godie's and Zar's the most because it's just the random Peter Griffin face, just like makes it so fucking funny to me.
Razor.
Yeah, again with the
Yeah. Bad
sorry.
News. Yeah,
All
for
right.
you guys it must. Well, hopefully on the YouTube version, it'll pick up his voice.
It should.
Yeah,
it should hear whatever we're hearing is what they should hear.
Oh, good.
Sorry, like I'll make sure to fix that for next time. Sorry about that.
But look, just to go back on Fancies was literally almost eye for eye. Like that's literally what he showed her. He had a bunch of pictures and edits, and they were just plastered on his camera. It was just funny.
Oh my god, I see that's something in the picture. You can barely see him behind the duck.
Yeah,
You barely
I never
see
realized that.
because he put that duck in front of him.
I know. I didn't think you put this tiny face behind him.
It looks like Jeffrey's calling it. Hey man, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. Catch you later, dude. Thank you very much.
At least talk to us a few. So we're really happy we had you for a few, Joffrey. Really appreciate it, man.
And you know what? Just to go back on the drawing real quick, I completely forgot what HCOM had. All I remembered is that they told me that he had like villain goggles, and the first thing that popped into my mind was like TF2.
He was straight up looking like Eggman from Slowstream.
I love Goddy Gamer's one where he's just like in a dark. All you can see is his face, just
That
like
is
slightly
one-
in the
That's
shadow.
what it,
That is
that's
one
what
to
it
one.
was.
It's 1-to-1, by the way. That's all we
That's-
saw is his fucking creepy face.
That's literally all it was. It was literally one of those sessions where he had the lights turned off, and the light from his screen was emanating from his face, but it wasn't bright enough to show everything. So all you would see is just like it's like putting a flashlight underneath your face and just telling a ghost story. Like that. That's all we saw. I think I completely forgot about Iwan, and I just drew a barrel in a fucking bathtub.
You're not far off.
Yeah.
Iwan's room was surprisingly more normal than I think any of us expected.
Was normal.
I mean, he
Klaus-
doesn't have full control of the room. That's why.
Oh.
Klaus had a very interesting room that looked almost mistakenly like a bathroom.
Not that again.
All German houses are tiled in every room.
It actually did really seem like Hans and Klaus were streaming from the same place. Like they said they weren't, but
So
pretty clear.
And then a shy Kaz.
I like
Funny
all
how-
the background. Sorry.
Mostly because of Evie.
What?
Mm-hmm. You know what you did. You know what you did,
I
Evie.
didn't do anything.
He brought that.
You
that
guys
milkshake-
asked.
That milkshake brought the whole boys to the yard.
Didn't you have another like either an old DK member or a current member join you in VR chat?
Oh, I had my boyfriend join me. That's what it is. And he is a crew member, yes.
There will be no fraternization in the ranks.
I'm sure
Does
you
it
don't
count
want to.
if he joined? He joined after.
Don't want to find that in the supply closet.
Just walking, doing your business. Just
I think furries call them dens, Avitus. I don't think it's a supply closet anymore.
Fuck me. Jeez.
Supply
then
then.
you're good. just avoid any suspicious holes you see in
It's
the
the
ground.
foxholes.
I think that's a decent just suggestion for life. Avoid suspicious holes. Go forward with that, everyone.
I think it's almost fucking wisdom. We should start thinking of ending on Jesus.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I'm stopping myself from saying some things.
It's getting past that hour. But
No, we don't.
But Razor, I have to
Yeah.
ask.
Yes.
What is planned after this?
I mean, we can get something started. Sorry, like I barely made it to this, so I was a bit crunched for time. I didn't get to, but we can
I kinda wanna
definitely.
play. Have you guys got that carrier game? I kind of want to play some more of that.
Well, we'll see. We'll probably have to get something for everybody though, because there's a lot of people that might scrapping up. I once says. There we go. Problem solved, everyone. Everybody can join that.
There was going to be a PvP game for Caragman today, but then they realized, hey, there's an anniversary today, and they're all fucking retarded.
We
So
could,
it might be one tomorrow or something.
I mean, we could do an SCP, maybe, but depending on how many people fucking turn up.
Oh, I'm going to be disappearing, so.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with OBS. I sort of figured it out. I'll try to fix it next time.
Do you want me to just outro?
Yeah, no. Well, now that I see it, it's fine, and they can hear me. But it's just OBS. When I click somewhere else, it seems to not pick up my microphone anymore. That's the issue. So yeah, most important thing. Thank you all for like sitting here with us for so long. It's been over 3 hours now, and there's still a lot of you guys still here, putting up with our rants. we did our best to try and offer, because I know a lot of people wanted a look back in time, a small history of DK, and I know we like probably scratched the bottom of Iwan's barrel with what we did, but at least I hope you guys enjoyed sort of a look in the past. I hope Julian had fun, because I wasn't expecting him to be here so long, so I'm hoping he had fun with us. I hope you all have fun with us, and I hope to see you soon, depending on our schedules, I guess.
5 years of building the clan up obviously fills us all with a lot of pride, especially people that have been here for a long time and helped develop things and stuff like that. And from my point of view, it's been, I mean, I've done this for a long time, like on different games and stuff like that, with clans and guilds and what have you. But I have to say that through all of my experience, through all of my time, I've never ever experienced anything like DK, and I don't think I ever will again. So thank you to everybody for making 82DK absolutely awesome. It is by far, it blows everything that I've experienced before out of the water, and it's the reason why I'm still here after all this time. So keep up with the good work, guys, and here's to a 10-year anniversary.
Yes. Copy and paste what he said.
Yeah. So I mean, I know I'm the new FNG. That's fucking new guy for people who don't know acronyms. To High Command. And am especially new to this stream. Only been here a year, but man, DK is one of the best places to be, and I could not have been happier to have the opportunity to step up for our 5th year anniversary and be part of it. I also just want to quickly do a shout out to my wife, who listened to this whole thing. That was her counter offer to me asking if I could take time, because not only is today DK's 5th year anniversary, today is me and my wife's 10-year anniversary.
Always an outdoor, eh? Always an outdoor.
Certainly got to keep her there if she's allowing you to listen to our bullshit for 3 hours on your anniversary, dude. Jesus.
Yep, she said, go ahead, have fun, but I'm gonna listen to the whole thing. And I said, all right, babe, come on. So thank you, darling. I appreciate it, and thank you everyone who came out and enjoyed the day with us.
You enjoy your day as well, buddy.
Thank you for releasing him from service, Drax wife.
Thank you for the follow, you non-essential scum.
I've been here too long. I feel old, so I'm younger than all of you. It's weird.
Wait, the moment I move the marker. Good sentiment to have over there, Evie. I've already discussed with Cass to have a little stream tomorrow as well after the op. We'll probably have it. We can look a bit at Foxhole stuff. We can look a bit of anything we missed. If you guys want us to look on anything, remember you have that Discord channel you can post in, and let us know if there's anything we missed or anything you would like to see. Who knows? Maybe if you guys wanna look at some old videos or something tomorrow, we could probably do that. The shorter ones or whatever. Go back in time a bit more. Other than that, that's it for me. Hope to catch you guys tomorrow, and hope we can play some games to celebrate more. Also, a big thanks to everybody who gifted subbed, followed, everything. You guys are amazing. We had a huge ruckus on this channel because of all of you, and yeah, we appreciate it very much. We'll put it to good use for DK, of course.
Now,
that's what he says.
For the 5th year, glory to Callahan, death
Glory
to the heretic.